Good evening, Starfarers. We are coming to you live from the Opal Sector, where the stars are bright and the asteroids are anomalous. The weather outside is a balmy negative 455 degrees, with a high chance of gamma ray bursts in the early to mid-afternoon. Let's lengthen the weekend together, everyone. Welcome to Tales from an Infinite Verse.
Woo! We made it!
Hello!
Hello! Hi, everybody. Welcome! Welcome back to Tales from an Infinite Verse. As you may have noticed, we are still in our Uncharted Worlds 2 arrangement with the lovely Sean Gomes as our game master. Woo! Yeah, because, again, we're just having some scheduling stuff. Technically, this is an off week. We were supposed to be playing the main game last week, and that got put off, so we figured, you know what? Let's do our side game again. Alas, Dan could not be here tonight either, so he will not be joining us because off weeks don't work for him. But that's fine because at the end of the last session, his arm got real messed up, so he needs to get that. I've already been given advantage. Thank you, Harris.
Yeah!
It's terrific.
Gotta spend those channel points somewhere.
Gotta get them out there. I'm telling you, if I switch those to bits, we would be making an income off of this.
I'm
not. Oh my god, no! I'm not going to.
No, please. Let us not have microtransactions in role playing games.
God no.
What if we did?
No.
Get out of here,
I'm
Microsoft.
taking a moral stance against that.
Also, Jake has also been given advantage, both by Harris. So, Harris, thank you for stacking the party. Sean, do you want to do any kind of recap, or? And you got advantage from Hillary, so we're all stacked now.
Yeah, great.
Thanks, Hillary.
We were just talking about failure and how starting things off with disadvantage makes for more interesting storytelling, and now we are all ready to not.
Because technically it's more realistic.
I can, Sean, we'll talk about this later, but if you want, I can turn off gift advantages for one-off, so it's a more accurate test of what the system will be like.
It's fine, whatever. let's just call this testing for people who have very good luck. I don't know.
Please, because we roll poorly enough to make up for it anyway. So
that's the thing, is that I have to design both with the idea in mind that there could be people with really, really terrible luck and people with really, really good luck.
So what you're saying is, for one of these, we should do a gift disadvantage.
That's evil. That's real
That's
evil.
both evil and incredibly interesting, and I kind of want to do it.
The player in me hates it,
Players
but the
versus
audience loves it.
Yes, the
Player versus
Twitch
audience, you mean?
Yeah, the audience just kind of you know what? I want you to fail right now.
Just make it you do a whole monkey's paw story arc where it's the players are all, it's like bad luck coming due, and it's the audience controls when that happens.
Final Destination style, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
My heart just started racing.
All right.
Cyrus, I'll check into if Jake already had advantage left over from last time, and if he did, I'll refund those points for you after the session, so don't stress it. But for now, yes. Sean, the floor is yours.
Thank you. A very quick recap of last time. The crew had basically taken out the CEO of a interplanetary, I guess, planet seller corporation. Usually they dealt with the company that they took down dealt with things like settlement and terraforming and whatever, but also there was a lot of underhanded dealings going on, and Gideon, who is not here this time around, basically got forced the hand of the CEO. So, you know, it was basically a deal gone bad, and he wanted revenge. Now, given that each city sector on this planet is a law unto itself, moving from one sector to another, especially significant, like a significant distance away, means that you can more or less evade direct legal troubles. The indirect legal troubles, such as bounty hunting and that kind of thing, happens cross borders. But as you noted last time, given the current state of things, it'll be a while before he can even muster up enough resources to come after you. It's not impossible that you might see repercussions from this, but for the moment at least, you're laying low. So, which is where we're going to come into the current session. The Pradata sector is... Sorry, not sector. The Pradata province, I guess you could call it, is another one of these sprawling urban metropolises. Overhanging terraces and that kind of thing form almost floating gardens. And between each of those are these currents of gravity energy that a lot of larger shipping containers are sent along. So rather than actually having ships, you have skiffs that are floating along all of the gravity engines that are holding these buildings away from each other. So it's kind of like this, it's a floating city above the mists with huge grav containers floating along like huge whales.
Love it.
This is the point in time where you can either spend time back in your ship, take off and head somewhere else if you have an idea of where you would like to go, or you could at least appreciate some of the local color, like the local culture and that kind of thing, and you can take short leave. This is entirely up to the crew. Gideon is, of course, getting fixed up, so leaving without him might not be super great.
Yeah, it's not a 3-shot. We don't need him.
Or will it be?
Well, okay. That's about. I feel like Jake wants to explore. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm still looking over I just want to be clear. So spending time on the ship would be considered cramped quarters, and then staying on the planet shore leave?
Yes.
Cool. Go ahead.
Yes. Oh, by the way, did you guys link the correct character sheets this time?
I did.
Yes, so yes, please,
I did,
please feel free to follow along. What I'm talking about right now is on the far right of the sheet, which are the downtime moves. We're not in a tense situation. We're not in a situation where we need, action. Right now, this is more of a cooldown from the last session where literally we ended with you guys escaping the local authorities and flying for quite a while before landing in this district.
Yeah.
This district, by the way, is where your ship is. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, my vote's on shore leave. I want to explore the floating city. And also, it's probably good for us to, maybe, not be on our ship that we came to that city in for a little while. Just point that out there, that we escaped with a bunch of other people. Oh, yeah, I have a whole bunch of people. I need to,
I was going to deal with them, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely vote on shore leave for me.
That's perfect. I would, I was sort of torn between the two, because I definitely need to get my armor repaired, but I wouldn't do that. Nadi would. So I would stick with Nadi anyway, but also I think after some icky feelings about how the mission ended, I think Victor definitely wants to sort of just stretch his legs and be in his comfort zone, which is schmoozing with the people, because in spite of being a big dumb idiot, he is also very, very personable.
I would like to point out to Josh that my cramped quarters, I get to fix stuff.
Take it away.
Wait, it's just like a conveyor belt. You hand it to me and then I hand it to him. It's just here, take this. Here, take this.
I get a +1 fixed.
Yeah. So the way you'll see that there are several results, both in cramped quarters and in shore leave, that say recover. Recover is either you remove a stress, or you remove a stress from a piece of equipment you have, which is a fix.
Okay.
So, for example, being from a productive society in which everybody had to learn how to work and do stuff since a very young age, Nathan, no, not Nathan, excuse me.
Yeah, Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan. Basically has an extra fix on his recover. So, not an extra fix, an extra fix on his recover specifically. So, as long as you get a recover, you get to recover from stress and fix a piece of equipment.
Sweet.
I'm not going to walk around wearing the gauntlets and the shoes for my armor, so I'm just going to leave the whole thing with Nathan then. So just kind of wearing, like, my street clothes, so to speak.
But with these, like, big, like, accelerator boots and huge gauntlets.
Yeah, it doesn't...
Did anything on your suit get stressed besides the carapace?
It was just a carapace, so technically I could take the boots and the gauntlets. I just would look really bonkers.
So
Yeah, you would.
I'm actually seeing it kind of like this is the underwire, like the underwires and the meshing and the substructure of your suit. So you could still wear it. It's like it's more flexible, that kind of thing. It's what you would put on before. It's the chainmail that goes under the plate mail, if you know what I mean, right?
In that case, yeah, I'll just put that on like underneath like a t-shirt and like clothes, so it looks like I'm not wearing any. It doesn't look kind of like armed for combat, except for the gloves, which you can't hide those.
Yeah.
But specifically just because I'm not worried about me, I'm worried about Nadi, and I just want to make sure that if anyone tries to step, they can catch these hands and explode. Because these hands will be stuck.
Literally, in this case, they will literally catch them.
All right. So, I will ask Nadi to make their shore relief roll first, please.
Right.
And also, yes, each of you have a downtime bonus, depending on
Background.
on your background, on your origin. Nadi, you in cramped quarters, you can organize group events because you're crowded. You like to have people around you, even when it's like already tight quarters and stuff like that. You're like, come on, everybody, group hug, kind of thing.
Right.
So,
Great. Well, then I'm gonna roll real quick, and we got starting off strong with a 6.
Yeah! Do you want to use that
Awesome.
advantage?
I feel like starting off on a low point is good, and then we can just get better from there.
Phenomenal.
This is not intense.
Phenomenal. Well, it's about to be.
Exactly, but it's not yet, so it's fine.
So, Nadi, the hired help that you had kind of rescued from, like the former workers of that particular complex, they've been asking you basically, what do they do now? They've had to leave their lives behind. Can they call their families to tell them, because, where they are, like one of them keeps saying, like, we should just turn ourselves in. We should just say that, like, throw ourselves at the mercy of the magistrates of that sector, because, like it or not, they've got lives there. They're like, what were we even thinking? We were, and then, the rest of them are like, well, would you have wanted to stay in the building when it exploded? And, and then of course the question comes from one of one of the house cleaners is like, are we prisoners? Are we free to go?
Are they actually asking me that right now?
Yeah,
Or is that
yeah. Like you get kind of roped into this argument, and they're all wondering what they should do, like what happens next. They're in this they're like, I've never even been here before, like they're like looking out at this completely different province, and they're like, this is the furthest I've been from home.
Well,
You don't
first
even
off,
go here.
Sam.
First off, nobody is a prisoner here. I don't keep slaves. Everyone is free to do as they choose or they please. That said, I wouldn't exactly go advising turning yourselves into the magistrates. Into the magistrates. It's not going to be any better than your old lives. This is your chance to start something new. Wouldn't you want something better for yourself than living behind bars?
What about our families? What about the people that we've left behind? We don't live on a ship like you do. We have homes, we have furniture, we have friends and family members and pets. Who's going to feed my cat?
that is the most important question. You can go and get them the same the same way that we took you from there. You can take them from their old places too. Start someplace new, someplace fresh. Do something you actually want to do with your lives. Do something better than what you were doing before. Just because if you did it once, you can do it again, and you can do it better this time.
So, as a side note, whenever you go to a new planet or a new part of a planet,
yes,
usually after some travel time, you generate 1 cred plus 1 cred per level of your ship.
Sweet.
So your ship is now currently level 1, so you have 2 creds. Everybody has 2 creds. This resets to 2 creds every time that you go to a new place. It doesn't carry over. This is what you can kind of draw upon as your local currency.
Got it.
Okay.
There is no such thing as a cred. There's no real object that is a cred. It's more like you have 580 rupees, or whatever the local currency is.
Interesting.
So that's your buying power. Creds is just like a kind of universal constant of buying power. So right now it's 2. I'm going to ask you to make a council move, if you please.
Absolutely. Let's see if this one goes better.
Using your influence, of course.
It didn't. It's another
advantage.
Yeah. Well, what is my you said my influence is -2. Oh yeah, about that.
-2?
Yeah, because you're the one that's supposed to be talking to people. Nobody should ever let me speak.
I didn't realize you could have -2.
Yeah, right?
Should be -1.
Oh, I didn't put that.
Yeah.
Okay, well then.
I was about to say there is no -2.
Yeah,
okay, well then. Okay.
That's why I was confused.
Although.
I mean,
good job, Jake. You made a new rule.
Should there be?
Oh, great. Sorry, all future players. Yeah, you know what? I care about these people like Jake does. Nadi, he would say he does not, but he does. Let's just try advantage. Why not? We have it. Okay, well, that's a 7. That's not awful.
Okay. So, instill in them a new truth. They will enact it. But you choose the pain of that new truth, which is either you develop a connection, or rather in this case, you strengthen your connection to them, their reliance on you. Or it's fleeting. You get them out of your hair, and they'll realize that you basically fast talk them into something dumb.
Right.
Or they will enact it and they will get hurt. They're going to get burned. This is not going to go well for them. You'll be long gone by the time it hurts them.
Okay, I think I have an idea of how to do this. Sean, can I do the first one, strengthening that connection with me? But can it be almost like the burden of it? Not the term burden, but like the bad side of it is it's like dependence. Like, great, well now we follow you, so you have to give us and provide for us everything that we would need in our lives, including our families. Like that kind of.
Right. Okay. So I don't think that they're going to follow you. However, I am going to hit you with a wound, which is financial burden.
Great.
You are on the hook for them. Basically, you're getting 1 cred less. You're basically paying, what's the word when you have a kid? Alimony?
Alimony, yeah.
Yeah. So your cred is going towards them. You can eventually fix that wound by arranging for that, but fixing a wound requires spending more creds. Right. So right now, you won't even have enough creds to fix that. You would have to go to a few other planets, make a few calls, and then send money to them so that they get settled on their feet, and then they're considered good. But for now, you have stress wound is financial burden.
Great. So
Go ahead and add that.
Reflects reality. Great. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. It's getting a little too real, isn't it?
We've been playing for about 25 minutes, and it's already way too real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, so yes, basically your shore leave is more or less paying for air taxis and transport, like public transport, for their various friends and family, not friends, but like family members and pets and whatever, transferring their stuff over, making calls, meeting in secret, that kind of thing. This takes up basically the couple of days that you spend in shore leave time is eaten up by making sure that all of these people are cared for. So you only have 1 out of your 2 creds left.
Great.
And for the foreseeable future, every time that you would gain creds, your financial burden will come in and take a little bit of that.
I just level up the ship. First off, entirely too real. Second off, I just picture there being like a time where it's like I'm running really low on funds now that I've done all this stuff, and I'm just like stuck at Space McDonald's, like ordering all this food, and like the cashier's like, "Oh, is this for your kids?" Like I'm just getting a bunch of kids meals, and I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "Oh, how many do you have?" And I'm like, 17. It's just like, can't carry on like a trifle of like 17 Cokes like back to this table.
All right, absolutely, yeah. So unfortunately, that's Victor. I'm going to ask you next to roll your shore leave, and at this point, I want to know if you're basically being the stoic shadow of Nadi, or if at some point during this immense running around to all these different districts and talking to all these different people, if you get separated or distracted. So let's find out. I think the roll will tell us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's a straight 2d6, right?
Yes.
It's a 5.
Oh, dang it!
It's a hard 5.
All right. So.
Can I almost want to throw advantage just because I'm at 2 stress right now, and I really need to get it ready for some of that.
Oh.
That's true. Yeah, you were hoping to recover. Right?
I have to. I'm gonna throw my advantage on that. I know it's early in the game to burn this, but it's very important to me to heal a little bit before I need to get into the thick of it again.
Good.
7. It's better.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to be I'm going to be nice. You know.
You don't have to.
I am a benevolent GM, and I will allow you to recover if you don't follow these people around.
Oh, I wasn't going to, actually.
Yeah.
That was my instinct, was to say, once I realized that Nadi is, like, playing dad and, like, doing his whole, like, advocate thing, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, he's fine. This is not danger stuff. This is him taking stuff places, and I can't protect him if I'm, like, my ribs are broken right now and everything. So if you didn't give me the recovery, I was going to spend a credit to get a recovery.
Right. So tell me, how do you recover? Give me a little, like, a montage of you recovering.
So I think we see Victor is incredibly good at navigating a war zone and really bad at navigating peacetime. So, because he's used to having people say, go here, do this. So we see him, like, looking at a map and then realizing it's upside down and, like, trying to, like, get his way through this, like, city. And he finally finds himself at, like, some clinic, because he doesn't know how to patch himself up. And it's all
right.
physical stress. There's nothing, like, mentally, I'm fine. It's just, like, I need to patch my instrument is damaged and I must repair it.
Right.
So I find basically the equivalent of an urgent care that you don't need an appointment for, and to sort of, like, push my way inside. Hi. Just look around.
There's, like, the rest of the room is all, like, local people, workers, that kind of thing. Seeing someone, even without the extra layers of carapace, seeing a full soldier, like, is basically this moment of silence and the squeak of the fan. And yeah, we cut to you being bandaged and and being like a few dermal sprays for, like, abrasions and that kind of thing. the doctor that sees you, she just like has this constant motor mouth kind of running over all of the little, abrasions over here. It's as if she was talking into as if she was doing an autopsy, like talking into a recorder during an autopsy, but it's just like live. It's just like, oh yes, so you can pay that extra cred to knock off that second, the second stress if you want. That's basically you're paying for meds.
I want to pay for a different thing. I still want to pay, but I actually want to make this more interesting, and I want to choose the befriend a local, make a contact option.
Okay, sure, yes.
And I would like to, if I can, with this doctor.
Okay, sure, yes.
If that's an option.
Yes. What kind of relationship are you going for? Is it like, hey, are you free for coffee after? Or is it more like, I might need your services in the future, keep this on the down low, slide some money over, kind of like, more of a dark professional, like, not dark, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
like,
no, I think this is more of like a professional. Can we do a quick role? Can we role play a thing real quick and see just kind of how it pans out? And I'm open to whatever it turns into. So as like she's doing this like autopsy like talk thing, and Victor's like blinking at all like the big words she's saying about like various things and like noticing like, oh, I know that one, as like it comes up to like certain things that he knows like just because of his like personal training.
She does note several past scars and correctly identifies them as bullet wounds and laser wounds, and she's actually pretty good. She's like, it's like a little rundown of all the things that you've been shot, stabbed, blasted with, right?
Oh yeah, and I'm just like giving the color commentary, and it's like, oh yeah, that was a trip. Actually, these three are all from the same person. I know they're different weapons, but they're actually from the same person. We were just going at it. It was like a back and forth. It started out with me chasing him, and then he was chasing me. As like our weapons, like we kept destroying each other's weapons. It was a whole thing. And it was after that it was the higher ups, the big guys, decided to get me like a suit instead of guns, because I drop guns like all the time.
She looks up at you. She says, "Must be a pretty good suit. A lot of these hits look fairly mild considering what you told me."
Yeah. Oh no, you want to see? And I'm just gonna immediately like, because I have like the gauntlets with me, just gonna like power them.
Oh no, she made you basically get out of everything. You're sitting there in more or less your boxers.
Then yeah, I'll still say, do you want to see? And like reach as if I'm so used to it. I was like, do you want to? I'm sorry if you.
Yeah, she's like, not interested. Not interested in your hardware.
Right. Sorry.
So she just says, "You must have a very interesting line of work."
Yeah.
Mercenary, hitman.
Well.
Solo drop pod.
I was. Yeah, sometimes. I don't do that anymore. I used to be a war. I thought they told me I was a war hero, but then my brother told me I was actually a war moniker, a warmonger.
Monger, yes.
Warmonger, which is like the bad version of a war hero. And so I stopped doing that, and now I do like good stuff, and I like help people do. I help my brother. He's trying to like make people's lives better and make the space better. So I'm just trying to help him make space better.
She straightens up. You're looking fine. Everything should be good. She walks over to her desk. She walks over to her desk and she says, "Your brother must be very happy to have you. Someone so loyal."
I think so. He's real hard to read sometimes.
Yeah, so she just says, "I keep in touch with a lot of news around here. I haven't heard of any big mix-up, big brawl or anything happened recently. So
No.
I'm guessing that you're not from this district."
No. And even when we are from places, like, that's usually the kind of stuff. He keeps it quiet. I get loud, and he makes sure that loud goes away. So, that kind of thing. Hey, do you like, what do you do? I mean, okay, dumb, you're a doctor, obviously. But like, what? We don't have a doctor. We don't have anyone to do stuff like this. When I was a warmonger, they just like had guys to like shoot me full of all this stuff that would just like patch me up. And we don't have that. And you're like, you're good at this. I'm just like poking like the stitching that she did. Could we I don't know, do you want to like travel or some shit?
So she's just like a light goes on. Of course you're a starfarer. Yes, that would make sense. No, this is my home, but I know your type. I know that you need supplies regularly. You also need some stuff that maybe the local district doesn't exactly approve of as far as medications and that kind of thing. The stuff that you talk about, banned in most places unless it's military grade.
It was military grade.
So she just kind of says, we can make a few arrangements if you want. I have access to a few things that theoretically are only for surgeries or emergencies or whatever, but I understand that you're a bit more loose. I do accept local system currencies, so even from other planets within the area.
I'm sorry, you've got to use smaller words. I don't.
She just says, I can get you if you have needs of stims and other big shot medication. Mm-hmm. We're talking like the kind of thing that someone who is smaller than you, she says, pointing at like the frame, someone who is smaller than you would probably pass out from. Yeah. If you need that kind of stuff, if you need medkits or that kind of thing, I can hook you up with that.
Oh, shit, yeah. That's awesome. Thanks, Doc.
Yeah. You come back and see me whenever you need, and whenever you get beaten up again.
Oh, I totally...
Your money is always good here.
I will. Come see you. Not that I will get beaten up. I mean, I will get beaten up.
You will.
It's gonna be...
She's like, I have met your kind before. You see getting beaten up as a badge of honor.
Oh,
the fact that you bragged about pretty much every scar that I pointed out is proof that you regard it as...
I mean, it's more about the fact that I'm still, like, alive. I don't actually, like... I'd rather not have these. I don't like... I think they look funky, you know? But, it helps me remember to do better next time.
So she nods. She hands over the bill and stuff like that, and she's like, and so basically in game terms you can add yourself an asset, which is either stims or a medkit or both, but each of them is going to cost you a cred, and you only have one cred left because you've already built this reputation on more or less bribing her to give you the good stuff.
Oh shit, thanks, Doc. Yeah, I'm gonna just I'm gonna immediately just buy another medkit. Just gonna dump the rest of my money.
So she's like, this medkit specifically is, I can give you a regular one. That one I can sell you, and I could even sell it to you officially. Or I could sell you a, it's a chest-strapped medkit that automatically activates, but it's going to fill you with, like, it's more of an auto stim.
Yeah.
Would you rather have an auto stim, or are you planning on healing other people? She says, realizing how bad of an idea.
No, this is for me.
Because she's like, this is a med kit, and she brings in like this case and flicks it open, and there's like all the syringes and all the thing. You've seen medics with this.
I mean, I got it. There's someone who could use this, but if there's a way to just stab me full of heal juice, then we'll do that instead. Yeah.
She's like, that's why I asked. She's like, now, I happen to know that there are a number of other people around the area members of the underground prize fighting circuit, for example, who tend to use these. Just strap it to your arm. It fits under most clothing. It's basically just a big bunch of plates and patches, but there are needles all on the inside. Just make sure that you get. And she points to the various veins and stuff like that you have to get these needles into, otherwise it won't work.
Sure, yeah. So I'll have my brother align it on my armor. It'll be good.
Yeah. So she's like, now, I have a friend who can also hook you up with some cybernetics if you need them, but I'm not saying do so. If you... That's good. It's good. It's cool. We didn't really do friends where I was from. Yeah. Maybe next time you come around, tell me where you're from. Right now, I've got other patients to see.
I was going to ask if you want... All right, never mind. Okay, I'll go. And on the way out, can I stop in the door and just, turn around for a second, as I'm, gearing up with everything, be like, sorry, can I ask, underground prize fighting ring?
This slow smile creeps across her face. She's like, I don't know if I should tell you more about it, but...
I'm gonna just, hold my arms out and be like, hey, look who you're talking to. Just, now with all the gauntlets back on and everything.
So, you know that big, the big circular plaza that leads off into a whole bunch of different areas? You probably passed it on your way here. It has the holographic tree. It has the holographic tree.
Yeah.
Meet me at the holographic tree tomorrow around 9-ish. And I'll take you there.
Yeah, I'll be there, absolutely. Cool. What's your name, Doc?
Her name is... I literally just closed the dang tab. Why have prep? Yeah, why have prep when you immediately close the tab? Her name is Tanra Hale.
Tanra Hale. Dr. Tanra. Just repeats it a bunch of times to get it in his head.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright. See you tomorrow. Out I go.
Alright. So, in the meanwhile, Nathan, you technically have a bunch of disconnected power armor plates that have been heavily banged up, super punched to pieces. Theoretically, it's going to take you a couple of days, so you're going to be wasting all of your time in the ship, more or less hammering these back out with with your toolkit, auto hammer, holding the thing in place and reverse riveting. Do you say, screw that, I can deal with it later, and go on shore leave?
I'm gonna stay in cramped quarters.
All right. Well then, the crew, of course, comes by occasionally, unless you guys, it's going to be a couple of days. Are you guys going back to the ship to sleep, or are you guys it doesn't cost any creds it's just costing you small amounts of money to, say, stay at a hotel or whatever. It's more comfy.
I feel like because I'm probably with all the people that I'm now putting up in this hotel, I'm probably there and just working on all that stuff at a hotel room at night. But
that makes sense. Yeah, you guys get 2 or 3 hotels and there's people sleeping on the floor and yeah.
Then I, like the clingy little brother I am, will be also at the hotel.
But okay, wait, question. Are you actually in the room with us, or are you watching, standing guard outside?
Separate room next door.
All right.
If I hear a commotion, I will burst in.
Go ahead and roll cramped quarters, if you please.
Unlike these two, I actually rolled well. I rolled an 11.
Rude.
All right. So you recover, plus you can recover specifically a piece of armor. So you were given Victor's power armor carapace, so you can uncheck the stress there.
Thank you. Gonna need that for my prize fighting ring.
If you're allowed to use it.
Yeah. And otherwise, what pleasant task, personal moment, like personal project or quiet moment are you working on that allows you to, recover yourself, right? Like you're recovering.
I would probably be doing maintenance on the ship.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Like calibrating. I'm gonna be a Garrus and calibrate the guns.
I
Right.
literally was sitting here going, I was like, are you calibrating the trebuchets right now? Are you kidding me?
Of course. I mean,
Goodness, wait a moment. I'm calibrating these guns.
yeah, there literally was a skill in Uncharted Worlds 1 that was calibration, and I'm definitely bringing it back as a level up skill for Uncharted Worlds 2 as a industrial level up skill is calibration, because I had to. I mean, the game was based on when I was playing Mass Effect 2, was inspired by that. I had to have calibration move.
That makes me so happy.
Excellent.
All right. So, towards the end of that particular, like of your fixing and stuff like that, your personal comms bleeps a few times.
Mm-hmm.
As it turns out, your mentor has just arrived and is very glad to know that your ship is there, because you guys have traded your ship idents and stuff like that, so that you know when someone else is already in the place that you are, so you can meet up.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have a name for the character, or do you want me to name him?
I was thinking of names and then I completely forgot to keep doing that.
Harrison Fillion.
That's what I was going to say. Just do the opposite, yeah.
Yes, okay.
There we go. Yeah, his name's Harrison Fillion.
Yes.
Great.
It's mostly a voice message, but he basically tells you, meet me here, this bar, this time. I've got an opportunity for you.
Okay.
The night of the fight comes, and Victor meets up with Dr. Tanra, and she leads you down a set of like a stairwell, through a secured door, through an underground marketplace. It's confusing as hell. Like at some point, there's like a repurposed subway station that you go through, that like metal plating has been put across the actual subway rails and that kind of thing to make bridges and all these things, to finally reach a wide arena, kind of like octagonal shaped, with tall fencing on the outside. There's not exactly a cheer, but more of just like the sound of a lot of people talking. Like it's just like the roar of a talking crowd. The far ends of this room, like up the seating, is overhanging various bars and like restaurants and stuff like that are all like pointing downwards towards, like they're kind of at a 45-degree angle above the ring, looking down into it. You're not sure what this space was for originally, but it definitely feels like a underground, but very popular underground fighting ring now. Nathan.
Yes.
You and your mentor, you meet your mentor in a darkened bar. Like there's practically no light except for the lights underneath the table, and he has a seat right up against a full wall window overlooking this arena.
Yes. I was hoping I was going to shake out.
So he has two drinks, one that's like half empty that he's been sipping, and one that is waiting for you. He's looking older. He's looking certainly grayer. for sure. Got his beard clipped into a neat goatee. Okay, so he just says, "Sit down. I've got something that I need to talk to you about. See, I was hired to come here to bring a little truant boy back home. Rich patron of mine has asked me to recover his son. His son has been doing things unbecoming of the family name. I should mention that my patron is galactic royalty, so
Of course.
we've
they
got we've got a little bit of a problem there, because neither you or I like royalty very much in the first place.
are. Not a bit.
And so I ended up with a bit of a better mission here. But I've got a reputation to uphold. And who better to take my leavings, let's say, than you?
Yeah.
It's good pay.
Are you asking me to
You
take
just have
on
to-
the better mission, or are you asking me to take on the kid?
When would I give you the better mission?
That's what I was about to say.
No. I need you to take this over for me. But in exchange, I'll waive my usual finder's fee for actually, finding this very lucrative mission for you.
Very well.
I did mention that while we don't like royalty very much, they do tend to pay well.
They do. We do like their money.
Oh, if a coin has a crown on it, or if it has a rose or whatever, it's still a coin, right?
It feels a little like shiny somehow. I'm not entirely sure what that is.
Well, I think it's just the divinity of being royalty, right? Must be.
I
He
just thought
raises
they
his
used
glass.
some kind of. I thought they were so pretentious they polished the money.
You don't?
No,
I mean,
I thought they were so pretentious that they polished the money.
No, I'm saying you don't polish your money. I mean, what else do you do on long trips?
Calibrate.
Yes, indeed. Okay,
So where's the kid?
Okay, so he just motions with his eyes down to the center of the ring, and that's where we cut over.
Oh no! Oh no!
That would not be in the scenario whatsoever.
I was actually going to say, Victor. Two things Victor would have done before going, if I may.
Right. Yes.
One, tell Nadi.
Yes.
I'm not. There's no part of Victor that's like, oh, ooh, don't tell Big Brother where you're going. It's literally Victor spent his entire life telling Big Brother what he was doing. He wasn't allowed to not. So it's instinct to be like, oh, I'm going to an underground prize fighting pit. It's gonna be here. I don't know exactly where from here, but apparently there's like a path you follow from the holographic tree.
Are you going with him?
Yeah. There's no way.
Yes.
There's no way Nadi is hearing this
Bring
and
the crew
going, yes,
together.
that sounds perfectly acceptable. You go and do that.
It'll be
I
fine.
think.
I'm just gonna make some creds back from when I got beat up before.
Listen, as much as I appreciate the creds, how did you even find out about this?
Doc told me.
Doc who?
Doc T. You know?
No, I
Doc
don't
T.
know.
Doc T. Hale.
Okay.
It's her
What?
name. I don't remember her first name. It's something with a T.
Okay. Well, why are you insistent on doing this exactly? We just got out of danger. You just got healed up.
This is what I do, and then I'm gonna be able to get healed up again. Look at this place. They don't have soldiers. They don't have like brawlers. This is just it's a good way to like keep the ship going, you know? I'll be fine.
I've seen you get out of worse. But...
Yeah, come on. Go a little like playful punches.
Oh, I thought you were doing like the noogie thing.
No. It's just like punching the air. Like, come on. It'll be fun.
You hit him and he like visibly flinches because he is that weak. Yeah, well, we'll see how fun it's for. I'm sure the other contestants won't be thinking that much, but as long as you're not complat.
The rest of the people here, they're fine for now. They've got a place to live. They're waiting for their family to arrive by by train or whatever from the other districts.
Right.
So they'll hold for now. Okay. So before we
only other thing I just would have clarified with the doctor. So, do I bring anything? Is it weapons allowed? Is it all fists? What's the deal with this?
melee weapons only, no projectiles, no arcing energy at all.
Oh man, I'm gonna don. I'm just like donning my armor, so this is gonna be great.
She's just like, don't. Everybody's got a gimmick, boy. Just.
I hope
be careful. As a side note, as each of you did your cramped quarters or shore leave, go ahead and remove the check marks for your XP triggers and give yourself that much XP.
Great.
So now you can earn those again, basically.
Sweet.
The idea is, yeah.
Where
the idea
is experience?
Down at the bottom, the XP is right about there. Yeah.
Sweet.
So basically, the idea is if you go too long without resting, you don't get more experience,
Makes
right?
sense.
Like there's a max. Yes.
Quick question about my assistant drone.
Yes.
Any chance that has any recording and/or streaming capabilities at all?
Streaming, no. That you could upgrade it. You can get a better drone that would have like a communications array to be able to stream it. But it does take node and stored data. So yes, you can have it record. You can film. Yeah.
Great. I would love. Yep. Great.
Yeah. All right.
This is everything
Okay.
I wanted.
The organizers take one look at you and just sort of like, super heavyweight, just like,
Yeah. Is there something above that, or?
okay, so they just look at you. You're in super heavyweight.
Cool. Super is a good word.
I'm wondering now, like, this is from a narrative standpoint, which fight would be more interesting to see happen first. I think letting Victor have his fight first is going to be more cooler. So, all right, we'll start off with the super heavyweights, and these are, of course, the new, like, you're both announced as first-time fighters, right? So, this is kind of an exciting one because of the fact that they're both complete unknown quantities. And of course, betting has started. Nadi, you're given the opportunity to go double or nothing on your brother.
Oh, absolutely betting double. Absolutely getting in on this.
Yeah. All right. So that's your last creds. Basically, it's around like 1,000 crystal shard or whatever the local currency is. So you can knock off your last cred, and if Victor wins, you'll get 2 cred back. You'll have earned back your money. All right.
Victor is calibrating.
So,
as I see Victor entering the ring, I'm gonna need another one.
Nathan, same offer comes up to you. You of course get the opportunity to bet on either Victor or his opponent.
Have I seen the opponent yet?
So you basically have there's a screen with the pictures of both of them. The other guy is flesh. He is wearing very little, but his flesh is overgrown. He is a vat soldier. He has the plugs in his abs and in his chest and around his heart where all the cables would go in. His skin is gray, and he has no irises. It's just it's like pupilless. It's completely just white. His teeth are black.
I'm gonna die.
I'm a bet 2 on Victor.
Ooh.
Oh
big
god,
spender.
the pressure on me to roll well right now is so high.
I haven't used any of my creds yet, so...
That's true. You've spent the last 2 days hammering out that plate mail that's going into the ring.
Either we're gonna be
I'm very
rich,
confident in my work.
Either we're gonna be rich, or we're gonna have a very good reason to take the royalty mission.
Yep. Good point.
All right.
You already used your advantage, right, Josh?
Yep, I did.
Does anyone want to give Josh advantage?
I wouldn't allow myself to use it in this case. It's too good to not. So no one give me advantage. Or if you do, I'll save it for later.
So let me set the scene then. The lights go down. The speakers turn on so that you can hear the middle of the ring. So like even the crunch of the kind of gravelly sand on the powdery sand on the ring floor can be heard. The crowd itself starts. The waves of conversation pick up basically. The center of the ring is lit, and each of you are announced. Victor Kazoku in this corner.
Kazoku, right?
There's general cheers, a few boos. Yeah.
I'm gonna find one of the guys who is booing and just be like, "This is for you."
Yeah, the way the lights are, it's just dark on the outside. There's a whole bunch of little pinpoint lights from everybody who's recording because it's an underground fighting ring. It's not like there's going to be any protections against that. Raul Grigson on the other side. He walks out. His arms are wrapped in steel cable, and he's got metal, basically a long metal sheet that extends outwards from each wrist, and is just sharpened on both ends. It sharpens to a point. So he's basically got this very wide metal slat on each arm.
Just to be sure, I don't recognize this guy, right?
Oh, absolutely not. No,
cool,
no.
Cool,
He's if anything, he's probably a vat soldier that's lived too long.
Gotcha.
And he's just kept on increasing in size because they're supposed to grow really quickly, fight in a war, die out. You've probably fought against this model before.
How's it going? Cool. I'm gonna pop you like a balloon.
He flexes muscles that humans should not have. All right. Yeah, he's mostly naked except for a loincloth. His feet are splayed. His toenails are really long and sharp. It's gross. What do you do? There's this moment of silence as the crowd starts going. There's a little bit of a hush.
Previously, in the last situations, it was all very tense and hacked in, and I needed to act incredibly quickly. And now I'm not forced to take the first move, so I'm not going to take the first move. I'm going to make myself look like I'm just relaxed, not actually taking any sort of defensive stance, but I have lots of power in my accelerators just to try and dodge whatever he throws first so I can get a gauge for his capabilities.
He bangs his chest a couple of times, gorilla-like, snarls at you, and he's basically trying to psych you out. There's a few times where he looks like he's going to charge forward, but it's very obvious.
Can I act scared?
Are you actually acting scared, or are you mocking him?
This is
Are you trying to?
This is tactical. I'm trying to fool him. This is tactical at this point.
All right. So I'm going to ask you to face adversity using your influence, please.
Sure thing. That'd be a 5.
Come on!
The crowd starts booing and jeering as neither of you are going forward.
I also boo and jeer.
Roll, he's been hunched over this whole time, so he actually straightens up, and the dude is 7'5". It's enormous. Just he stretches up and he lifts his arms up and he turns around and he's walking towards the center of the ring, and he wants more cheers, and people start cheering for him. It's like that, and then backhands you. It's basically his arms are facing upwards and his back is to you. And you can see all the plugs in his back from where the tubes go in and stuff like that. And then he just turns around and smack.
Yep.
It was the worst dirty blow. That was
Sucker punch.
Yeah, that was an absolute sucker backhand.
Sweet. Good. Cool.
Your head is rattled around inside your carapace. Is your carapace taking the brunt of this blow, or are you?
No, I'll take this one.
All right. You are dazed. Your head just bounces around inside your helmet like a bean in a drum. It's just.
Don't need this carapace.
you realize that you're now
Work
on
real
your
hard
side.
on therapist.
You're on your side up against the wall of the up against the cage, and the counter has started for you to get back up.
Gonna give it like a second, refocus myself, and okay. Whew. All right.
Okay, the cheering has started again.
And I'm gonna just like, I'm no more playing afraid. Now it's time to like, I'm watching him again, but this time it's just like for next time he like moves, I'm gonna take an opening. I'm gonna try to like actually go in for. I'm gonna launch a counterattack. I want to see if I can get him off balance at the very least to see if I can level the playing field.
All right.
So quickly, is dazed a stress? I assume.
Yes, daze is a stress,
Thank
not
you.
a wound. Yeah, it's not a concussion.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah. All right, so your accelerators start winding up. Your gauntlets lock into place. All right, he plants his feet wide and like is like, "Come on, bring it!"
Hey, it's a neat muscle you had implanted there. You know what I call that? A bullseye. And I'm going to go in, but I'm not going to aim for that muscle. I'm going to aim directly for the groin. He's going to cheap shot me. I'm going to cheap shot him.
All right, I'm going to ask you. This isn't a combat because you're not going to be able to demolish them with violence just
sure.
yet. They're too. So I'm going to have you roll strength, roll face adversity with force, with
Oh, yeah.
disadvantage. He has reach on you,
And I'm dazed.
and you're dazed, and he's waiting for you. So like he could reach out and like punch and counter punch.
Come on. Fuck. All ones. Every single thing was a one.
Get rid of those dice.
I'm gonna go get new
rid of
dice.
them right
Is this
now.
what you can cut to so I can get new dice? Literally.
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, yeah, please.
Your accelerators punch you forward, and you're like kind of like doing that, the one knee bent, one knee straight superhero pose, like the going in for the punch. Like you leave like this trail of dust behind you as you like launch forward, and it's like you're seeing in slow motion his black teeth being shown in as his grin goes up, and he wheels back and punches your fist. Everybody in the first 5 rows or something feels the impact. Like the dust just goes poof, outwards. Your arm is shattered. It is a wound.
Is that taking the place of one of my stresses, or like the bumps?
You can blow out your gauntlet, or you could blow out your carapace.
Well, I had a bumps and bruises thing already. Would
Yes.
that escalate into broken arm?
Yes. Yeah. It gets rid of when you take a wound, it replaces a stress that you already have.
If I blow out my carapace, can I go launch a counterattack immediately?
Because it was an absolute failure, no.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna hit. I can't
you
afford a
can-
broken arm yet, so I'm gonna take. I'm gonna let the carapace soak that.
All right. So you manage to pull away, but you get it straight in the chest instead. It just impacts, and you just see your whole carapace has been pushed inwards. You can feel it every time you take an inhale of breath. It has been completely demolished. Like pieces are falling off of it. You hit the ground, bounce off, pieces fall off of you. Hit the ground again, bounce off, pieces fall off of you, and collide with the metal fencing, and around halfway up, and then hit the floor. You basically bounced back around 20 feet, leaving a whole bunch of pieces of metal back. So now when you pull yourself up, like pieces are hanging off, the under mesh shirt and stuff like that are exposed. Your fists.
Up in the bar, you hear, "Son of a bitch! I just fixed that."
All right, we are going to cut over.
I can still hear. I'm gonna get 2 dice. I'll be right back.
Yes. Yeah, triple ones is
I would like to remind everybody at the beginning of the night when Josh is like, I'm sure these ones will be fine. I don't need to get my metal die. And like, I had the worst feeling. I knew I should have done something.
Yeah, I didn't think he could roll that poorly that often. when I bet 2 creds on them.
Yeah. I'll make mistakes.
Right. We cut over to Nadi, and the crowd around you just winces as your brother goes slamming, like bouncing off the floor and bashing into the firewall. The Titanic gen-engineered brute lifts his arms up again and starts getting the crowd cheering, and like he's trying to rile the crowd up again. He's got good showmanship, that guy. Says the petite doctor next to you. You assume that this is the doctor, Dr. Tanra. She looks you up and down. She says, "I can see the family resemblance. You must be his brother."
You're Dr. T then, yeah?
Yes, Dr. Tanra. She extends a tiny little hand.
I should have known my brother would never remember that name. Nadi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. As I mentioned to your brother, I deal with a lot of interstellar travelers and that kind of thing. As I told him, if ever you need any kind of stronger medication than that's available on public market, you come see me. I also have contacts with a few chop shops and cybernetic enhancement places.
Well, Doc, if the night keeps going this poorly, I might need those right now.
Oh yes. I'm keeping a tally of just how much this is going to run him. I hope you have extra funds.
I just look towards the gambler and go, "Well, I did," and I just look up. Wait, Nathan, did you tell us you were going to be at the bar? By the way.
I mean, I didn't have any idea that the bar was connected to this place. I just probably would have said I was going to meet my guy at a bar.
Yeah. Although it would be funny at that point if Nathan would be like, "Hey, I didn't know that Victor was in a prize fight."
We have comms, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes two of us.
I now have 11 metal dice, and anything rolls below a 4, I'm throwing it away.
So much better.
So it's like Dice Hunger Games.
Yes.
All right. Nathan, your mentor, just he says to you, "Why do you hang with that guy? He's terrible."
He's really good at drawing attention and soaking up a gunfire.
Well, okay, fair enough. I mean, everybody needs someone like that, but usually when they get beaten that badly, you leave them behind, right?
To be fair, this is the first time I've seen him get beaten this badly.
Well then. Yeah,
He was fighting another guy just the other day that was roughly the same size. And he had guns.
Did you also have guns?
I did, he didn't. I wasn't involved, I was running the other direction.
Smart. Speaking of running the other direction, he says, leaning over to appreciate the fight. What exactly are you gonna do when your buddy there loses all your money?
I'm gonna have to take that. Well, I was probably already gonna take the job you offered, but I'm definitely gonna have to take the job you offered.
Yeah, so I don't think he's getting up. And then we cut back to the ring.
So I have been leaning thick into the "oh no, poor me" aspect before I even started getting my ass beat. But the point of that was to, again, find weaknesses and see what this guy's weakness is. By now, I think he's beat the shit out of me enough. Can I try to discreetly judge if he has a weakness or a spot? No one that strong can go forever. There's got to be some way I can get under those defenses. Is there any way I can use a seek solutions to try and figure out a weak spot?
Okay. So
this would be, I would say, survey discreetly, because that's what I've been doing, is during a fight trying to...
Right. In this case, actually, while scan is not the correct, rather compile,
okay, that's fair.
It's going to be, you're going to analyze him. However, I'm going to say this. You don't need to be the person to do this. You have your comms. You need your coach. the person that you turn to when you don't know what to do next.
So as I'm on the ground and slowly, like, milking the get up, because I know he's going to wait till I get up to do the next thing.
Yeah, there's a timer going for you. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just, like, eyes on the timer, making sure, like, I'll be up 2 seconds before, for sure. And just, Nadi, you seeing any, is your little buddy drone seeing anything?
Can I roll Seek Solutions to see if I see anything?
Go ahead.
Great.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. Let me see what that is.
You're the only smart one in the group.
Again.
So that's going to be
I thought he was going to
solution.
be slow, and he's not slow.
This is with intellect, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. That's an 8.
All right. So this one makes perfect sense of at least a hostile interposing guardian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Choose the other one that's going to come in.
What is your burden, Josh?
Long list of revenge victims.
No, not really.
I know.
What is that?
I've got, no, you're good.
I feel like either a questionable, unsavory act would make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
In
what I
an
think.
underground street fight, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, we're in the harmful, unpleasant location already, but we all are. So, the other one.
Right. So, the guardian, of course, is him. That was a given. Had you rolled a 10 plus, it would have been like an obvious like that. So, 2 things then that you need to do. 1, he is very obviously goading you, and he doesn't see you as much. He has confidence on his side. Like, all of the confidence is on that side of the arena, and he is feeding off of it. He wants attention and wants that confidence. So you may need to bring him down a peg. You may need to psych him out, get him to start doubting himself, or get him enraged. Because right now every time he's been like, come at me, right?
Fantastic.
And then he's caught you.
Mm.
I can do this all day.
Stop trying to make me say the line. I'm not going to say the line.
That's why I'm saying it for you.
The unsavory act. His skin is made to like withstand, like his flesh is made to withstand bullets, right? You're not going to get in that way. The sockets, however, are very, very vulnerable. It is going to be gross, though, once you stick one of your giant metal gauntleted fingers in there and rip it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I relay all of that. That's entirely too much for me to roleplay. But yeah, so good luck. You're gonna need it.
No, I'm not.
Dr. Tanra is actually the one who just kind of offhandedly mentions about, like, those sockets. I have to deal with them coming loose constantly. They get into fights and they snag on things he's supposed to be wearing a full still suit, but I guess he grew too large for it.
Interesting. I just like turn around, like, go for sockets, please.
So I'm
What
going
Nadi
to...
said.
So I know I need to knock him down a peg and go for the sockets. That's all Victor needs.
Yes.
I am going to push myself up,
Mhm.
wobble a little bit, activate my auto stim
Right.
to shake off the dazed,
Yes.
and then immediately start laughing. Oh man, I had you going. You thought that... I'm sorry. You called those hits and just like open my arms. That was a hit?
So go ahead and stress your auto stim and remove the dazed.
Fantastic.
The dazed will come back. Actually, I shouldn't say remove. Put like an X in front of the dazed or something like that. It's basically like, it's gone for now. It's not gone permanently. You will need to rest afterwards.
Ordered, not cured.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
All right, and don't forget. Oh, yeah, that's right. You didn't have the wound. You're still just bruised. Cool. Yes, right. It's your armor.
And then so I'm just gonna, once I've gotten his attention, I'm just gonna mimic his gesture and be like, come at me.
Go ahead and impose your presence using force.
Alright, I will do this. Come on, guys.
You will do this.
9.
Oh, fantastic. All right. describe how they see you as soon as you give them proof or assurance that they want.
Can I
think
call
that you've already
the stim? Yeah.
done that. The stim and you standing up fine is the assurance that they needed. So you've already done your legwork for this. How do they see you now? How do they feel about you?
This was entirely a ploy to make him afraid. Victor knows when you're living off of confidence, the only thing that can get rid of confidence is the fear that you won't succeed like you think you will. So I'm gonna just drain his confidence, like pulling the plug in a bathtub. He now views every hit that he thought was giving him that confidence, in his eyes now, did nothing. I might as well be invincible.
The little drops of doubt.
I'm just kind of standing there, not making any obvious defensive stance, just fully ready for the next attack.
He backs away and he's like, what? Like normally.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, are you confused? I'm over here, bud. Come get me.
He looks back and
take a few steps forward.
He looks back at his side of the ring where a bunch of people are yelling, just kill him! Just kill him! So he's like, and starts lumbering forward. He's like got this huge gait, and as he starts lumbering forward, he picks up a dramatic amount of speed. It's hard to remember because of how disproportionate and massive he is, but these guys are made to cross a battlefield really quickly and then tip a tank over. So
For sure. As he's charging, I'm just gonna kind of narrow my eyes, recognize the speed, and go, Nadi, look away. And I'm gonna go in for, like, see if I can get 4 of the sockets and just rip.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead and
would this be demolish foes with violence?
Either demolish foes or with precision, because right now you're not beating him to a pulp. You're going food.
They're both the same stat. Do I have advantage because of the forward from
Yes, you do.
Fantastic.
Yes, you do.
An earned advantage.
An earned advantage.
While you're doing that, Nadi covers his eyes, and he also covers Ella's eyes.
So it's the disadvantage is gone from the Seek Solutions because you know exactly where to hit him, and you gain then advantage for putting him in a bad position where he is mentally off balance. So you go from disadvantage to normal to advantage.
I couldn't have planned the outcome of this fight better if I tried. I love the dice. That's going to be a 13.
I was about to say, as the dude's
that would have been
forward.
a 12 as a flat roll. I rolled a 4, 5, and a 6.
Wow.
And I have +2, so let's ride.
So the result... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, as the charge is happening, I was just lean over to Harrison and go, this is the good part.
Right. The two of you collide and you get underneath basically a two-handed haymaker that slams the ground on either side of you. He's looming over you and you're right up into his chest where the 4 plugs are for his lungs. You go right in.
I'm going to say, bullseye.
Right. There is the sound of tearing and a spray of blood that just washes over the front of you as he just howls, holding his chest. He staggers backwards and falls over. He starts getting back up.
I'm going to... Is he like... Is the fight over and he's just being dramatic at this point, or is there still...
He is getting back up. He is dying. He is literally bleeding out, and he is still getting back up.
If he's literally bleeding out, I'm gonna up to the ceiling and just sort of kind of catch the ceiling with my accelerators and be like, you really don't want to make me come down there. Call a medic before it's too late, dude.
The crowd went from cheering to jeering in a second as he gets up and does this like lame swipe and slams the floor with an open hand, and you're away from him. People are screaming at you to finish it, but it looks like the investors of this guy have called the fight. The gong sounds and medical teams come in. At first he kind of like turns around and goes to like attack them instead, but they subdue him and like Well, it's going to take a lot of people to drag him off this, drag him out of the arena.
Could I knock him unconscious without killing him?
He's already being tended to by the medics.
Okay, cool. Never mind. No, never mind.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure about the dragging him out of the arena. Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. No, like it's basically he's his owners or his investors or whatever, his sponsors have come into the ring and are like, lie down. You're gonna get treated. They get a whole bunch of people to like lift him on a gurney, and there's like staggering away. And there's like this big pool of blood that's being dealt with by little drones that have come up and started cleaning the place.
I'm going to drop down from the ceiling, 3-point superhero landing, and sort of like get back up and like fist up, like this is what I know. And as I'm like circling and like everyone's cheering, I find Nadi and immediately like get really sheepish about it and nod and leave the ring.
Right. Well, your winnings have come in. Each of you, Nadi, you now have 2 creds.
Woo.
Nathan, you now have 4.
Wait.
So, up in that booth, Harrison, who has by this point ordered like a giant plate of nachos, leans back in the booth and just says, "Well then, aren't you lucky? You got yourself a pretty good fighter there." Stands up when he should know better. That's good.
Yeah, he likes to get beat up to figure out how they like to beat him up.
Bash your head against the wall until it breaks down. I've hired a few of those in my days. Very useful. Very useful.
Yeah, he tends to be.
Okay, so he just says, "So I guess you don't want the mission then, since you just earned a whole bunch of money."
Well, I mean, I'm always happy to take more money.
Well then.
Let's see your guy here.
Yeah, he should be next if my information is correct. And now announcing the lightweight division.
Quick question: did I
Yes.
win anything from this prize fighting competition?
Oh yes, you have an extra cred, just flat out.
Doc T.
Since you were new, basically.
Doc T. This is for you. I'm gonna give for the cred. I'm gonna need some more work.
She just says no. This is more than enough to cover it. She takes a small amount. It doesn't reduce your cred, but she's like, take these. See me in the morning, and I'll make sure that everything else is all right. She says, you were right about your armor.
You're great. Hey, you were right about most things. Pretty much everything you said.
If you're giving that cred away, I'll take it to fix your armor again.
Nate, are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just won me 2 creds.
Hell yeah.
It's a nice vote of confidence that he voted. He bet on you rather than against you.
Yeah, true. I think I'm gonna go up to Victor and just kind of like, because I obviously noticed him get very uncomfortable or something when he saw me at the end of that fight, and just kind of like brush all the crap off of him, and just kind of like punch him a little bit in the chest. Go, you did good.
You're cool with this?
I don't really like you sticking your neck out more than you have to, but can't say I don't love a good fight. And then I just like kind of elbow Ello and say, and you might make us some more creds in the long run. Just saying.
What does that mean?
You'll see. Just leave it to me.
Man, stop being so weird and What? What?
Did you phone a friend?
Guys, fun fact, if ever I am struggling for it to say it, is Victor struggling to find the words.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool, that's I'm done. We can watch the little guys fight.
Yeah, so...
Can we take a break real quick before we...
It is 8:30. Yeah, that's literally the halfway mark. Actually, that's good timing. Good timing, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, bio break, cycle your fluids, get rid of...
Be back in 5 to 10, guys.
That's what happens, right? You get rid of the fluids that are in you, and you put more fluids inside of you.
Exactly. It's all fluids.
Cycle the fluids.
Fluids all the way down. We'll be right back. And we're back. Welcome
Hello.
back. Thank you for your patience, guys. We have all acquired various snacks and drinks and whatever we needed to do. Let's play some more game. Sean, it's all you.
Right. Well, the next fight is brought in as you guys are seated back down in the front row, and Nathan is now, I guess, sharing the sharing the snacks that Harrison got.
If you guys want to come join me up here, it's much more comfortable, it seems.
Can we?
Oh,
You.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, sure.
I could use a drink.
Actually, you go ahead. I'm gonna sit down by the ring. I want to be more up close to this. Always
All right,
learning,
sure.
Yep.
So,
Can I keep Ella with him to keep recording whatever this next fight is?
oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Take good care of him.
So, one of the fighters is introduced as, is simply introduced as the Blade, another new fighter. People are just kind of laugh at the name because it's so pretentious and, rake thin, but fairly well muscled, like a good athletic body, in what appears to be a mixture of a fencing outfit, inlaid with circuitry, and a very obvious shield emitter built into the chest. They have a full metal mask on, completely blank, and it has like a kind of like a chevelure, like a hair down the back, all dressed in like red and white. And they have what appears to be a rapier, basket handle and everything. As it flicks, it leaves images behind. Like with every flick, it leaves images behind.
Gee, I wonder which one's the royal.
Their opponent is SR-388,
Oh, no.
a repurposed factory worker from the lower levels. The lower levels, by the way, are choked in hazardous fog. Humans don't work there. Just as a note for the area. Walking in on uneven legs, with one arm longer than the other, its head kind of tilting to the side occasionally, is a humanoid robot. It doesn't have the soft plasticky outer shelling and stuff like that. It is just pistons and wires, and it looks very skeletal in nature. And it just walks in. Its fingers have sparks that cross between them. The other hand has not detaches, but opens up into what is more or less whirling blades. The fingers basically are each arc cutters, and the whirling blades are meat grinders. It is a meat processing robot from the vats. So animals aren't farmed on this planet. Meat comes from the protein vats. And this robot handles the protein and cuts it into cubes and grinds it into meat, into ground beef and that kind of thing.
Clone meat.
So
I like that.
Yeah. Its third arm is the cleaver.
I love that lead-in.
Just unfolds a third arm from over its shoulder. So yeah,
30 minutes later, its 17th arm now is.
Oh god.
So this machine, single baleful red eye, has been reprogrammed to be a fighter. It has a full range of fighting AI and takes an appropriate stance. It moves weirdly. It jitters constantly. It looks like it's been repaired a hell of a bunch. Like, it's obviously not a current model. And it just, like, twitches weird, like, every so often, even while it's standing still. There is a certain amount of consternation in the crowd. Not consternation, there's, like, anticipation in the crowd. Because this is going to be a bloodbath. You've got something that basically has a meat blender for one hand and a cleaver for the other, and a arc cutters on a third hand, against someone with a thin blade. Do you just watch?
Upon seeing both combatants, yes. I shall turn to Harrison and ask, does he know he's going home, or is he going to be problematic?
Okay, so Harrison just smiles and just says, according to his father, he wants to prove himself as much of a warrior as the rest of his dynasty. He doesn't know he's being recalled. You see, neither his father nor he have fought in any wars or in any in any internal conflicts. They've lived in a time of relative peace. His father's a bit of a philosopher. Now his son, of course, has
other aspirations.
Yeah, let's just say that he took the lessons of history a little bit. He understood the wrong lessons of history. Yeah, he's been drinking too deeply from the whole. Look how great our former war leaders were.
Bye.
So he's just like, I personally, if the prince gets killed off, then it's not that much of a big deal. There's plenty in other in lines, but if the prince doesn't get killed off, it's money. So, look, he welcomes Nadi, because Nadi is now up in the booth with him. He's like, you boys enjoy yourselves with my compliments, and I will contact you, Nathan, when my job is done. I need to get going. And you see him actually, he's not even looking at you. He's already looking over, and it looks like he was actually on a stakeout this whole time, because he is now rushing after someone in a bulletproof long coat who noticed him and has taken off, smashing into waiters and stuff like that, and they're both out. So,
good hunting.
You have some weird friends.
Yeah. Should tell you something about yourself there.
I've been called that once or twice tonight. What was that about money or?
Meet our new job, and I point down at the prince.
What have you gotten us into?
Well, not yet. I haven't gotten us into anything. I want to see how this plays out, and I'm going to bet one on the prince.
I'm getting a drink. I'm not betting nothing. I have spent enough of my luck tonight.
Victor is like, the guys come over to ask Victor, like, if he's going to bet, and he's like, well, if the guy uses his sword to take out the wiring, it's an easy fight. But it seems to use his sword, so if he gets caught wrong, and he just like continues rambling until the guy walks away and just keeps going.
Yeah, it's
completely just like.
Nathan,
Victor, keep an eye on the fellow with the sword. I want your tactical assessment.
Yeah, it's a fight. Of course, why would I not?
Nathan, you are asked while making your bet, so go ahead and dock yourself 1 cred. You're also asked who is going to be paying for the booth and all the food and drink.
Let me guess, it costs 1 cred?
Yeah.
I'll get you back, Harrison.
I think I have other words in mind to describe your friend.
It's a thing we do.
Is it? Should it be? Next time, leave me out of it. He says as he drinks his entire drink.
Yeah. So yes, you've got food and drink for the rest of the evening. You've basically got this booth for yourselves.
Right.
So the fight begins, and almost immediately, you notice that the prince is playing very he's fighting very defensively. The robot, on the other hand, has identified him as someone who has only a single source of attack and has been trying to grab the blade with the manipulator hands, while going low, trying to use the meat grinder on the knees and bring the cleaver down on his head. So there are a few misses. One decent shot that tears a whole bunch of padding off of the suit, and there's like a flash of energy as the
Shield emitter?
The shield emitter dies.
Great.
It's not looking good. The few hits that he gets in don't seem to have much of an effect. They strike off occasional cables. There's a couple of big scratches, but in general, nothing much. I'm sorry. Due to my mother's health, I have to take this. I apologize.
Dude, you're so good. You're so good. Y'all, it's roleplay time. Victor is just leaning over to Elo at this point, being like, "Nah, see," talking because he's the only thing there to talk to, so he's talking into Elo as if he has ears, and he's listening and just be like, "No, see," because he's just attacking the big spots, the easy targets. But the thing is, it's like in my last fight, you know, you had to go for the little things. See that cable there, the one in the back, he can't see it from this angle, but he should have seen it when it was setting up. And if you just rambling about how he would be handling the situation if he were forced to use a sword and fight this thing.
I wouldn't count him out just yet. He's got something to prove.
Sorry, what?
Don't count him out just yet. He's got something to prove.
Yeah, but he's not gonna win. Look at him.
I mean, they also thought that about you, Vic, and now look where you are.
Oh shit, you're so right. Get him, little guy!
Oh gosh.
Betting is closed at this point.
Vic wasn't gonna bet.
Yeah. So, do you wait for this fight to play out?
Yes, I would.
All right.
Without anyone.
I want to know what we're dealing with. Are we dealing with someone who actually is skilled?
He's gonna.
Or are we dealing with someone who's a bunch of hot air?
He's gonna fully die.
I want to wait just a smidge more before I suggest an intervention. So can I see how the next portion plays out before I do anything?
Absolutely. So
are these to the death fights? Because the last one he had guys through with a towel.
They're either to the cannot stand up anymore, Victor almost got counted out a couple of times.
Yeah.
They're either cannot stand up anymore, or when their patron, if they have any, if they themselves or their patron throws in the towel.
Okay, yeah. Then yeah.
Being dead means that you can't stand up anymore.
Fair, but
look at his weapons. He's
death is not the intention.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's gonna die.
So, I'm gonna ask somebody, I don't know whoever feels lucky, to roll an unmodified 2d6. On a 10 plus.
Ethan is reliably lucky. My metal dice have been good
That's
for
fair.
the one roll. So,
on a 10 plus, the prince starts getting the upper hand. On a 7 to 9, they are both gonna get hurt, and on a 6 minus, the prince is gonna suffer significant harm.
What was the middle one?
They both get hurt.
Okay.
They're both going to achieve something of what they want.
I'm down for whatever. I'll roll Ethan if you want Ethan, or you can roll. I don't care.
I vote Ethan.
I'll roll.
All right, Ethan it is.
That's 7.
All right.
Not terrible.
Not terrible. The prince is bleeding from several places. A cleaver shot to the shoulder, partly deflected. More padding has been torn apart by the whirling blades of the meat grinder that has that has kind of mixed, like it's his padding is shredded, but you can see blood soaking it. The fusion, like the arc cutter fingers are out of commission. He basically took out the hydraulics of that, and now it's hanging limply. And he is trying to attack the knees, figuring that the robot is not going to give up out of pain, but if it can't stand, then it technically loses, even if it's still fully functional. So, at this point, if things go poorly for him, he's going to. He looks like he's already flagging from blood loss.
I would like to tell Victor. I want you to yell out exactly what I say. Looks like your dad was right.
What?
Just do it.
Sorry, what did Nadi add?
I said, go ahead and trust him.
Looks like your dad was right.
Good enough.
Go ahead and impress him using your influence.
All right.
I am.
9.
Fantastic. There's a pause in the stop. Actually, theoretically, in this case, it wouldn't have really been impressive. It would,
No.
sort of, but yeah, you're not trying to impress them. It would be in just amorphous adversity. Now that I think of it, yeah. If you were an advocate, then I would have said, okay, you're trying to actually instill a truth in him. That would have made sense. But I need to rewrite that then. When you show off, something has to be more about how you're showing yourself off. But anyway, that can be later, making a note. Yeah, so face adversity. You get one thing you wanted to achieve at the gym.
I think even though Victor doesn't know what the purpose of that was, I know well enough that the whole thing is basically to drive him to determination, right? That's the goal. Victor doesn't get that because he has no idea what the fuck's going on. But that's the goal, is to make him determined to win. To push him to go past his limits and get away.
So you have to say that with a certain amount of volume, and you have to stand up in order to be heard over the crowd, right? Especially since you had like that sound baffling and the so that you can hear the sound inside the ring.
Yeah.
And you remember that the ring is being recorded, right? Like the inside of the ring is being recorded, so you can hear the breathing and stuff like that. It's being, and you hear this sound. What did he say?
I shout it louder. Looks like your dad was right.
There's a silence. There's a silence in the audience because no one understands, but everyone knows that you hit a nerve and they want to hear what he has to say. And he just says, "After I finish this thing, I am going to kill him."
I go. Oh, that's real cute. That's just quietly. That's just to Elo. That's just.
The stream just watched me dribble soup down my shirt.
I missed it.
There is a flurry of blurred lines that strike and cut and stab. The thing drops to one knee. It raises an arm, and just a flick of the blade just pulls a plug out from underneath the arm, and the whole arm just drops. And he starts hammering it. It's down, it's disabled, but it hasn't dropped to the floor yet, so it's still upright. And he is now punching holes in the kind of chest cavity of it. It's just not chest cavity, the chest, it's the core of it.
Mm-hmm.
Did his dad say something about how good he was at killing things? Is that what that was about?
I'll tell you later, Victor. Right. There's no more technique anymore. He's just stabbing this thing repeatedly. The judges call it at this point that the opponent is down for all intents and purposes. Nathan and Nadi. Filtering through the crowd are several large individuals, dressed roughly the same. From the patches on their shoulder and their armor, like their half armor and stuff like that, they are members of the basically the Laborers Guild.
Oh.
They also have the same emblems that the robot had. And they're filtering through the crowd from several points, moving towards Victor.
I mean, Nadi would have already been going down there as soon as he's like, oh, this fight's over, and he's got, like, Victor has a target on his back from the guy in the ring, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down there. So he was already, like, headed down there.
Yeah.
Oh, I will let them know about the incoming guys on the comms.
Yeah, so
You got some big fellas coming in. Looks like they work for the same place as that robot.
Oh, okay.
Bigger than the Dats or smaller?
Smaller than that guy.
No, they're just regular people. They're just like kind
They're
of
just
portly.
regular big guys.
So, pushing past the people who are trying to hand him his like pay slip and stuff like that. Where is he? Where is he? Show me to him.
I'm gonna get to Victor immediately and just like push him behind me and be like, "Let me handle this."
Handle what?
Just tell him he's welcome for giving him the
we good?
little extra push he needed.
We will be. He's gonna be even better once he knows what we actually did for him.
All right.
Jesus.
I'm along for the ride at this point.
I recognize you, oaf. You're the one who insulted me. I demand retribution.
Dude, I don't even know what I said.
You said the right thing. If my brother hadn't said exactly what he had said to you, you would be dead right now and you wouldn't be able to say anything. So I suggest that you thank him instead of condemning him.
Oh, I'm glad that you said that because that's exactly what a -1 influence would have said. Until that point, I was on board, and then I'm like, yes, okay, good.
You see, I'm like, no, I gotta make it wrong at some point in time.
Man, you're really bad at talking to people, aren't you?
I'm gonna be really bad at talking to you, and if you don't shut up.
So, we just and who are you, peasant?
Is that to me or to Victor? Sorry.
To you, Nadi.
Give me your name, and I'll give you mine.
Just, I don't barter with peasant. A bottle smashes over his head. He's still wearing a bottle smashes over his head, just as he's about to be like super like. I don't give you my name, and he's still wearing his like faceless helmet thing, and it just kind of staggers and just says, "Cretans." The
If
muscle.
y'all can make sure he doesn't die, that'd be great.
Sure.
The muscle just says. One of them just says, "You were supposed to go down, boy." It's like the prince just says, "I have more pride than that. You're gonna have more holes in a second," says one of them as a knife just flicks into his hand.
I'm gonna interpose myself between the prince and the guys.
Okay. There are 6 of them, and people are starting to scatter. This is something that occasionally happens when the gambling goes wrong and the wrong person won.
Hey, you guys see my fight?
There's a moment of pause. Please, this is the point where I'm going to ask you to impose your presence.
Absolutely. That's going to be another 9. At least I'm getting up mixeds now and not failures.
One of them just there's this ripple around his fist as his it's a kinetic brass knuckles. It's basically taking the gravity engines of like a ship and the same technology of like tractor beams, shields, that kind of thing, and just applying it to impacting someone's face. And he just says, "You just shut up!" And he goes in for a punch. How badly do you hurt him?
Oh, okay, cool. So that's what's happening.
Give me the proof that you are not someone doing this.
I had a different proof, but that's okay. Great. I'm So this is just like a gravity fist thing?
Yeah, just there's like a ripple around his fist, and you can see like the metal, like the plating with all like the energy built in.
Cool.
Basically, it's the kind of thing that you build up energy and then release it.
Victor is a lot of things. He's not a bully, and he knows when these guys are outclassed. So I'm going to take a very quick step back, so he just spins full 360. And then when he's like facing the other way, I'm just going to shove him into the others and grab Ello from the air. Does Ello have a screen?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Ello, show him the part with the bullseye. And I'm just going to remind them of the end, the killing blow of the fight.
So I'm going to do a reverse camera shot, so that's the back of your hand, like the back of your hand, and they're all looking at it, and they're illuminated by Ello with blue glow, and then the glow goes red. Like, like the camera doesn't see, it's just like, it's the sound effect, like the Foley sound of internal components being no longer internal.
However dumb you feel for trying to punch me, know that what I did to you was the best outcome. You couldn't have hoped for better. Walk away.
They shuffle around, and they're like kind of looking if there's a way that they can get to the prince without having to deal with you anymore.
Well,
because you kind of interfered with the fight, technically. But they're like, it's not worth our time. So yeah, I'm assuming describe how they see you and how they feel about you is they are terrified.
Yeah, it's 100% like they know I could kill them, and it is only because that they are not fighting me that I don't.
All right. So the prince just says, I do not need you to take care of my fights.
Oh, I don't. I'm just doing what I'm told here. You want to talk to him? Went to Nadi.
If you listened to
I'll
do what you are told, then please drop dead.
Oh no, I don't listen. Sorry, that was confusing. I don't listen to you. I don't give a shit about you.
The feeling is mutual. Now, out of my
Cool.
way.
I don't know what that means. I'm gonna get out of his way.
So he strides forward he's limping. He took a shot to the leg. Like his thigh is really. He needs stitches for sure.
Oh, I know.
He needs someone to help him
doctor.
peel out of his clothing, because his clothing is probably mixed with his flesh at this point.
You might need us, you know.
I need no one.
You're gonna need not to bleed out, and we actually have someone who can stop you from doing so.
Some filthy lab, I'm sure. Wake up without a kidney. I'm sure my kidneys would fetch a good price.
What, does the doctor say anything at that point to that insult?
Is the doctor still there?
Yes, she is.
Okay, I figured she was.
No, Doc T's the best. She'll take care of you.
Can we say by that point I came down?
Yes, Nathan, you were there as well.
Also, we need to bring you in at least mostly good condition.
Bring me in. I knew it. What are you, hired assassins? My brother sent you?
Quite the opposite, actually. We were hired to bring you back to your daddy. However, you seem to got some kind of chip on your shoulder, and your daddy didn't really give us a time frame for how fast we had to get you back.
Did I miss something?
There's a whole lot. I'll tell you later. It was a long dinner.
I'm just gonna.
The enforcers of the place are now also coming in. They've got like shock batons, and they like massively outnumber you. They were willing to let the fight settle before they came in and clubbed whoever was left standing. But now that it seems like there's going to not be any other entertaining fighting going on, they've decided to be like, okay, move along now. If either take it to the ring or take it outside, one of the two. And if you take it to the ring, let us get the announcer on first.
You heard the guys. I'm assuming you don't want that first option, right?
Yeah, so yeah, they're the rest of like the meat packers and stuff like that are just like backing off. Like the VAT crew are all like backing away.
Oh, that was to the prince. That was like me and him. Like, yeah, I'm assuming you want the second option, right? Where we leave, and not where the two of us take it to the ring.
So.
If you're well enough, I got a booth upstairs. We can talk business.
excuse me, Dr. Tanra just, ooh, a booth. I've always wanted to watch the fights from a booth.
Oh, well.
Well, it looks like we might not have any more fights for the evening, but it's still pretty nice.
No. I mean, there's not even a body on the floor. This will be cleared up and everyone gets back to their seats and I give them 15 minutes.
Fair enough. Let's go.
The VAT crew are still staring daggers at all of you, but it's the kind of like false bravado of you didn't actually beat us, but they absolutely did get beaten.
I'm just gonna give them a really quick, just one of those like check things.
Yeah.
Can Ello imitate that and then on their screen make like a middle finger out of like zeros and ones? Like,
we're so petty.
Oh, 1000%.
So the prince allows himself to be dignifiedly led up, despite the fact that he's like limping, and he refuses to lean on you, but kind of does anyway. Like it's an act. He's definitely trying to keep up appearances. He unbiddenly collapses down onto one of the two banquet seats, and the doctor immediately starts like removing things and starts pulling away at the part of his thigh, like the meshing and the padding and stuff like that. And he's like, "Madam, you do not take off the pants of a royal prince. At least, not without a few drinks first." She looks up at him. She's like in her 80s. She's like, it's
that together.
I did 100% miss that part. I love this badass old woman.
She gives him a smirk, and she's just like, "I would need a few drinks as well," and just pulls out one of her small kits and like pulls it out. She's like, "Maybe 40 years ago." It's like, "Really, madam? How old are you?" And she's like, "If you must know, I'm well over 90. She doesn't look it. She looks like 70 at best, but I guess she has access to rejuvenation treatments. And, people live to 150 at this point. People who have money live to 150. The prince himself is, "You're not that far off from me." He's probably 75 or so, but he looks like he's like, given the body shape and stuff like that, he looks like an athletic 25-year-old. But then again, he's got royalty and a whole bunch of rejuvenation treatments and gene modding and body sculpting in him. He's probably going to look like that until he's like 250, like his father.
Oh my god.
Sci-fi.
You don't look a day over 60, sir.
So he pulls off his helmet, and sure enough, he looks like a 25-year-old. Like, he's got a very like smooth complexion. He looks young. Okay, so he just says, "Now, what is this about you trying to take me back to my father?"
Yes, Nathan. What is this about us trying to take him back to his father?
Oh, I'm not the only one who doesn't know. Cool.
We were passed on a job by a good friend of mine who was hired to bring you back to your father. However, seeing as I personally was not given any kind of time frame about that, I was thinking along the lines of, you just come along with us, since you seem to have some kind of something to prove, I'm guessing, some chip on your shoulder of some sort. I apologize. What my friend here shouted during your fight was more along the lines of to test that theory.
Oh, got it.
Why is Victor literally the epitome of that meme that's like, I've connected the two dots, and then Nadi's just the one like, you didn't connect shit. It's just like, I connected it. Like, that is our relationship.
So I'm thinking maybe you could just come along with us, because we tend to get into quite a few scraps ourselves and can always use a fellow with your skill set. And by skill set, I mean the way you slice and dice so nice.
Victor,
by the way, that was completely unintentional rhyming right there. I didn't realize it until nice came out.
Good job.
Nathan, I'm going to ask you to face adversity using your influence
Okay.
with advantage, please, because that was indeed
dope.
very nice.
Incredibly
That was very nice.
clever.
All right. Get my 3 going.
I was kind of expecting you at some point to like pull a massive con job on him to get him out of there, which is why I was like, okay, as soon as he does that, he has prey. I gotta remember, he is a scoundrel. He's going to be able to prey on, deceive the trusting. So, you know, I was thinking about like, okay, what's going to happen if that, and then no, you just go with the straight truth.
Nah, I figured just get some extra muscle on the team, and then we get paid to take him home at the end. I rolled a 10, and that's +1, so 11.
Lovely.
So, you would do that for me? I have dreamt of traveling the stars and being the star, like the starfarers of old, like my grandfather. He traveled to distant worlds. He fought horrors of the universe. He was a hero. My father is a poet. He cares more for taxations and legal documents than he does for the reputation and the history of our family. I could be a hero like my grandfather, like and his father before him. I could restore our family's honor.
That you could. In
Yes.
fact, just the other day, we stopped a terrible man from selling a innocent planet to some nefarious individuals.
By blowing up his building.
That sounds like something that lawyers would do.
We did it through means of breaking into his office and threatening him.
Ruffians, scoundrels. Where's the heroism? Where's the high adventure?
Hey, I'm gonna put a hand fully on his shoulder if I can.
Yeah, he winces a bit. Yeah.
I'm actually physically like gauntlet off before I do. Like,
Oh yeah, no. He's just
like,
super tender.
Yeah, it's totally fine. I'm just like, hey, you don't always get to pick what your life is. Sometimes you just get to pick the less shitty of two options. Your grandpa was a star guy, starfarer, and your dad's a poet. You know what our dad was?
No.
Our dad had kids. Our dad got with people to have kids because that's what our planet said he was good for. That's all they said he was good for. And that's all he did until the day he died, was make a bunch of kids because he wasn't good for anything else. And he didn't get that choice. And we had to choose whether we wanted to do what our planet said or what we wanted to do. And it was two kind of shitty choices, and that was it. Your choices are, and tell me if I'm doing this right, your choices are come with us to do whatever we're doing, whether it's hero stuff or scoundrel stuff or whatever, or we drag you back to your poet daddy kicking and screaming.
I would rather die. But
that wasn't an option. That wasn't one of the... I didn't give you that choice. That wasn't one of the two choices.
But it is true what you say that we rarely have a choice. I myself had never even seen outside the palace for the first 30 years of my life. I am learning to be human. My father wants a god king like himself. I want to see what the universe has so that I can protect my people. Not just write about truth and beauty.
That's cool. That's cool. I thought he sucked. That's cool.
Well, if you don't help people like us, there won't be much truth and beauty to write about. We might not exactly be the most heroic sort, but...
I mean, we try.
I would say anti-heroes, I feel like, is the close enough. And if you can deal with that, then we can deal with you.
He waves his hand. I am aware that my grandfather also did things that were gray at best. I am not looking for purity and holiness. That is the path that my sister walks. I am walking the path of glory. I want grandiosity. I don't want good or bad. I want big. If you can provide me with something high adventure, not in the mud, but in the stars, then I gladly join you. Or rather, I gladly pledge myself to this cause.
Well, Nadi, you're always talking about the big picture, ain't you?
We have ideas. There are certain people in this universe who are taking advantage of people who don't deserve it. And I think it's time they receive their payback. We can't do that just on our own, so we've been seeking out allies, for better or for worse. And if you can help us with that, then imagine the glory you'll have from all of those people, all those people that could be good and heroic and pure one day, like your sister. All those people given a chance to live their own lives, to have freedom like we have now. That's the kind of opportunity we want to give people. So if that's the kind of glory you want to get, then that's the kind of glory you're going to get only if you join us.
So who is our first target then? Are we talking raiders, space pirates? Not more bureaucrats. I fear that some may be related.
Yeah, that was a bit of an outlier, to be honest.
Yeah, that was our other cohort's idea.
I'm going to put a stop to you. And Nathan, excuse me, Victor.
Yeah.
Tell me, who is the closest on your long list of revenge victims?
Hey!
Physically closest, or the one that's emotionally closest?
The one who is at the top of your quest list, basically, by mixture of proximity and ease of access and
So I had I'm going to answer this question.
This is his burden.
I had painted that list as like a list of people that want revenge against me, but I'm happy to have both lists. So absolutely, I can go whichever way the story needs it to. And in this case, Victor is going to kind of reveal from his many trips sort of walking the streets when he couldn't find his way. He saw like a sort of wanted poster for this like ex-war general, someone who used to command him, tried to send Victor to his death. Victor came out of it. No one expected him to. That's kind of before he was like renowned and people knew how good he was. But when it was learned what he did, he was dishonorably discharged, but he managed to like get out of the system and went on to just be like a space pirate kind of a guy. And so I'm going to pull out the poster for this like space pirate and slap it on the table. Look what I found.
The little holographic head pops up and starts turning.
He's in the system. Nadi, this is one of the other warmongers. One of the guys who used to tell me what to do.
Oh yeah, this guy is a major war criminal. He basically, even before like the suicide missions, he suicide missioned his own people in addition to that kind of thing. That's what he's in it for the death.
That's what our society did, but yes.
Yeah.
Well then, we know our next target. You in, rich kid?
My name. Said he turns actually to Victor because you asked me my name. My name is Sadij Kidam of the Royal House Kidam.
Damn it! No one's got easy names.
Hope you like nicknames, Sadij.
Kidam.
You may call me Your Highness.
Okay.
I lock
into Kadim and say, "Okay, kid."
And like as Victor goes by, he just mutters to himself, "I am probably older than he is."
I'm gonna point to the doctor and be like, "Doc T, you in? You want in on this?
She looks at you. Of course not. Of course not.
Had to try. Had to try.
So she stands up and she says, I have stitched up as much as I can. I've given you dermoplast regeneration. It is going to be a little bit on the expensive side, he says. I am good for it. She gives him a smile and just says, so you said that you're what? Close to 70? She kind of like she just looks at the rest of you.
God, I'm really
how often do I get to find someone who looks this good at our age?
You do you, Doc. We're in a restaurant. Not right here.
Kid, can you pay for my medical bill too?
He looks at you and just says, is that why you want me on board? That you wish to take advantage of my wealth?
No.
That was a joke.
Oh. Wasn't funny.
Oh, you guys are gonna have such a time.
I want this to be like the introduction to our new. Like, I want this to be like the next episode we reveal a new player and they're playing this character so bad.
Oh my god. Oh.
Okay, so he says, well, actually, yeah, no, I think that's like he agrees to go along with you, and once you have defeated this space pirate mercenary thing, that he will be able to claim that as a kind of like this is kind of
feather
like
in his cap.
the heroic deed that he wanted to do so that he could be written about rather than write about other stuff, right? Like his father's training him to be like a scribe and poet and stuff like that, but he wanted to be the hero that he wrote about. So yes, he's fully he's very much swallowed hook, line, and sinker on that whole like glorious glorious adventurer myth.
Would you say that his burden is glorious purpose?
Oh yes, absolutely. Oh, that was a low-key reference. I missed it. I missed it. Yes, his burden desires a glorious purpose. Yeah, absolutely. Delightful. Yeah, that would be if like this was a character, he would be like high on finesse, low on force, high on influence.
Thank you, Nerdy Ninja, for subscribing.
That's his 5-month anniversary subscription. Thank you very much.
5 months. Whoa.
All right.
I think that at this point, either you can set off, having tied up your your loose ends, or rather gotten yourself into this. Very clever, by the way. I was expecting the whole club him over the head and drag him away. Or at least just chase sequence or something, right? Like some sort of threats of violence or violence.
I think it's a very nice change of pace from the last session.
Yeah. Minor terrorism.
He wants to fight some shit. We can give him some shit to fight.
So you're still out on the town. You can either leave now, and it'll be a few days before you get in anywhere near the space where those space pirates are operating. Mm-hmm. So we're talking cramped quarters. Or you can continue your shore leave for a bit.
Well, it looks like I got armor to fix again.
So
I'm fine to. Victor's had a big fight and been patched up. I think he's ready to ride.
Can I go to like a store or something?
Yes, absolutely you can.
Great.
That doesn't take up the full short leave. You can spend your creds. Absolutely. That's true. Victor, Nathan, actually, both of you. No, Victor, you didn't have any creds left because you spent it on healing yourself, right?
I thought you said that did not take the cred. That was...
Yeah, no, it didn't take the cred, so you still have 1 cred left.
Can we level up the ship?
Well, once you guys take Oh, right, yes, actually, last mission... that's a good point. You earned profit, not sold cargo for profit. So if we go over to the ship sheet, I'm just cutting over to that tab. You note that it gains levels the same way you do.
Right.
Which is by doing things. Now, I put in sold cargo for profit, but actually it should just be earned a significant profit, right? Either by selling cargo or, in this case, massive gambling and then almost getting punched to death.
As a reminder, for anyone at home, if you want to play along, I'm going to resend that link if you want to see what we're talking about. You have access to this as well, so you can see the sheets and everything. It's actually very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So I would actually check off sold cargo for profit. Well, in this case, I'm changing that to it's earn significant. That's not how you spell significant at all. God. Earn significant. So we check that off.
You'll need to change earn significant profit for a significant profit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. What? There we go. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So that checked off, and from the previous mission, actually, that should have been checked off because you completed your mission and earned the deep gratitude of the employees and also the investors of the planet that was going to be sold off. So that one would have already been cleared and added to your resources, which is basically the experience of the ship. Your ship resources are the ship's experience, and when you get to 3, which is going to be happening now, you can either choose to upgrade one of the existing ones from basic to advanced, which gives it extra functions, or you can add a new basic component. So that's that. For instance, if you were to upgrade to an advanced reactor, you'd get a second available fuel.
Okay.
So you would take 2 significant failures of traveling before your fuel supply ran out. It's like extra hit points for your fuel.
We are literally about to go fight space pirates, all in favor of either upgrading the shield generator or weapons.
You want better weapons? Tell me what weapons you got. They have to be basic though. Like, it's not like a super advanced gun, but yes, you can upgrade your ship cannon. Or you could give yourself ship cannons.
Yeah, we have the basic laser turret. I would love to get a cannon as well. Are you guys down with that, or do you want shields?
Either way, I'm good.
Yeah,
right.
Either way.
I'm gonna probably want someone to shoot.
Yeah, we're about to fight. We're gonna have some space fights.
All right. So
I'll just have to not get hit.
You got this.
Right. So
You're a leaf on the wind.
So don't do that, man.
That ended so poorly. I am a leaf.
Is this a reference to something?
Yes,
Firefly.
it's a reference to Firefly / Serenity.
Oh dear. It's not quite.
That was a thing the pilot would say as he was flying real good. I'm a leaf on the wind.
And then,
All right.
And then things happen, which we won't talk about in case anyone hasn't seen it.
Yes.
I'm not.
So I'm going to ask each of you to do a cramped quarters roll. Actually, first, experience triggers.
Woo.
Since we are now in downtime again. So we'll start with Nadi. Carried your burden for good or ill. Champion of the downtrodden. Yeah, you're even suffered stress from it.
Yeah, great.
Suffered a loss, defeat, setback. Again, that was a pretty big financial setback.
Yep. Yeah, great.
Claimed a victory for yourself or your ship. That you convincing him to join. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought, wasn't it? Technically.
Technically it was Nathan. That's
Nathan.
true. Yeah.
Jake
That's
just
true.
said
Okay.
cool stuff afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
But champion and ally, you did absolutely because you basically you gave him exactly the kind of you gave Victor the info that he needed to kind of.
That was also Nathan.
No, it wasn't.
No, to win your fight.
To win your fight.
Oh, that
Telling
one.
you-
Sorry,
telling
I was
you where to
thinking
aim
about-
and shit.
Sorry, gotcha. Yes.
No.
All right. So, and now that you're going, now we do your cramped quarters. So you clear that and give yourself 3 XP, which means that theoretically you level up because it's 5 XP to gain a level. gain a new ability, but we will talk about that after. So go ahead and roll your cramped quarters, please.
Great. Can't wait to see how this goes. Great. That's a 2.
Jesus. Jake, do you want to burn your inspiration now?
I already burnt my advantage,
You
remember?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I totally
Yeah, you
forgot.
Okay, well, choose a crewmate. Work together to introduce or expand a personal conflict, disagreement, or bad blood that develops between you.
Well, it has to be Victor because I don't have any bad blood.
No,
with
new.
Nathan.
It could be new.
Could it also be the
Oh.
prince?
Could it be the prince?
You could develop a significant disagreement or personal conflict.
That
with the
couldn't
prince,
possibly go wrong.
Yes.
But that makes so much sense for Nadi because he is, out of all three of us, by far the least interested in this guy and has very opposed priorities here. So
do we tell
yeah,
him
I
about-
feel like that one makes sense.
Do we tell the prince about Eat the Rich now, or...
That's what causes the disagreement, Josh, is that I scream that in the middle of a ship meeting.
Eat the
And he
fucking
stabs me.
rich!
Oh, he immediately realizes that, like, he knows exactly how to push your buttons now. Like, oh, I see. You're one of the proles, are you? Like the kind of like he basically like it isn't 100% like it's antagonistic, but not 100% like angry. He's very much like, I am going to ignore you because you're so far beneath me. Like this kind of like, oh, you've proven yourself to be one of literally the lowest of the low. So why should I listen, right? And, you know, like, you have no culture, you have no sophistication, you know, and the back and forth, the jabs happen basically pretty much everywhere of him not wanting to go to the bathroom after you. He's like, no, I can hold it. I'll let it air out a bit first.
Oh my god. Everything in Nadi wants to like explode. Also, I'd like to point out that your thing about like, you're just the lowest of the lows. Very good reference because Nadi comes from Nadir, which means the lowest point of an organization or fortune. So literally exactly what his name means. Great.
Yeah, you like one of the things is like, and also like needling at your coming from a crowded background and that kind of thing of like you are the personification of the unwashed masses. Like it's like you're exactly the kind of person that we would assume was a bad joke made by people who didn't understand, and yet here you are in the flesh. Yeah, like he
just look through my search history one night. It's like 88 ways to kill a rich person, 88 ways to piss off a rich kid. Like it's just like it's a whole search history.
Considering your influence is like -1, I'm like the comebacks I think are not coming back. Like
No, not
like he's able to get right up your nose. Like, okay, so there we go. We have our little bit of like he actually like his shore leave is him occupying himself. Not shore leave, his cramped quarters is him occupying himself, making fun of you.
Great. Love it. So excited to have him on board, everybody. Really glad we have this new party member.
I can't wait. We need to figure out an official name for this side quest because I do want this to keep going on every opportunity we have when not everyone's here. And I can't wait for episode 3 of this when it's just the immense tension between these two.
Let's just name the ship real quick.
Yes, we should name the ship. That's a good point. Please come up with a name. We're open to chat suggestions too.
Yeah, if anyone wants to redeem name generator, you can literally name the ship right now. It won't even be a discussion.
In the meanwhile, Victor will do your experience points. So carried your burden. Thank you. At the very end, you allowed me to do so. Suffered a loss, defeat, or setback.
I don't think so.
You almost did, but I think that you managed to come out and claim victory.
I became stressed, but that got healed almost immediately, and I literally never lost a fight. So
yeah,
I don't think so.
So yeah, go ahead and claim the victory for yourself.
Yeah, and the ship, because they all won less money because of me.
Yes, indeed. And champion an ally and let them shine. I don't think this time around.
Victor's not good at that.
No. I've been noticing that there are certain.
You did what I told you to do.
That's more you championing him than the other way around.
Fair.
Yeah.
I've been noticing this is like more like behind the curtain kind of thing. I've been noticing that there are certain careers and certain character archetypes that fulfill that job really well, and it's a support character usually. The Vanguard career tends to be really good at that. A lot of the talkie careers, like the
Advocate and the personality.
the advocate and personality, depending on how they're the personality isn't. The personality is about the self, is about showing off, about bragging or talking people down. Or that
I'm
kind
a
of thing.
personality. I'm military personality is my career.
Yeah. Military, I found career has been great for claiming victories because it's like very clear cut about when you win because the other person is down, right? It's like there are some people who do the layups and there are some people who do the spikes, right? And the people who do the layups are the support characters. I have one of my friends from my other team is a Vanguard. Vanguard is all about getting people into position and coordinating strikes. So he's always like, you wait for my signal, I'm going to lure them into position, and you're going to take the shot, because the other guy is a scout sniper. And it's always the case of one of them gets the victory, one of them gets the champion and ally, and I'm actually really happy about that, because the support character usually doesn't get the XP for the kill.
Cool
So
stuff.
I'm very happy that actually feels right as far as like the breakdown of it.
Yeah.
And it also encourages players to occasionally toss a bone to let someone else shine, because they're like, well, I haven't done that yet, and I really should, right? I really should be a good teammate, you know? So it's one of those like, and of course, suffered a loss setback is more of a, you help the story go forward. So here's experience points. So that's the 2. So your experience points is at 4. Not yet enough to level up, but but you can clear it right away because you're doing cramped quarters.
Sweet.
So let's roll your cramped quarters then.
7.
I'm actually saying, by the way, that this cramped quarters is happening as you guys are all outfitting your ship for space combat.
Great.
So you haven't left the planet yet, and this will allow Gideon to get back with his new arm.
Right.
Because his downtime move is actually that he can exchange an asset for a different one. So he might come back with a different eye or a different hand, because all of his stuff is cybernetic, so he's going to get himself swapped out into whatever he needs. So, in any event, you don't have disadvantage from low resources, fortunately. You guys haven't rolled badly. I'm just saying that if your resources ran out, you would roll disadvantage with cramped quarters. Except for Victor, who, because he lived a brutal life,
Shit in the
it
trenches,
just is
you
like,
know?
yeah, I've lived worse. I mean, sure, I'm eating a rat, but I mean, look at it, it's a disease-free rat. like, do you know how rare these are? Anyway, so what did you roll? Sorry for the
7.
quarters. 7. All right, fantastic. So choose a crewmate and describe a share moment between you. They get to ask one question about your past.
I think in this case, I think Nadi and I know each other well enough that as much as I thoroughly crave one-on-one role-playing with Nadi and Jake in and out of game, Nathan makes more sense. I don't think I would open up to the prince right now, especially not when he's busy picking on my brother. If we had I would have picked him if I needed bad blood, because I would have beat the snot out of him for picking on my little brother. But on a mix, I think I'll go with Nathan.
All right. So in that case, so between the two of you, describe a share moment. What would you? Oh, probably fixing his armor.
I was actually going to say, so we can spend creds to like upgrade our own resources too, right? And I still have 1 to spare.
Upgrade your resources. How?
I don't know. You just talked about like assets, like.
Oh
sorry.
yes, you can get a new asset, or you can pay to have an asset fixed by someone else.
So since he's going to be repairing it, and I have a cred left, can I just buy some parts so maybe he can upgrade it a little bit too?
That one would require more creds. Actually, between... Okay, here's the thing. Normally, getting a Class 2 piece of equipment is way more expensive than Class 1.
Fair.
But I just realized that you can buy an extra component because you still got 2 gear slots left, right? You've got your auto stems that have been now integrated into your power suit. You can buy a new component for your power suit. Absolutely, yes. So go ahead, tell me what you wanted to purchase for your power suit.
I think I'm taking so many hits, and I realized when my fist got like locked and almost destroyed if I hadn't taken that I basically want like a shield attachment for like the back of the fist as well, like an extra like bit of armor I can use to just soak hits.
Okay.
Because I want my armor to be able to soak more hits, so I can soak more hits, so other people don't have to.
May I slightly one up on that
Please.
and have it interlocking, like extendable, like an actual like
Shield,
but
yes.
that like comes out from either side. Just because that look is cool when there's an explosion, right?
Yep. I'm writing power armor for all my assets. It's implied that they're all part of my power armor.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's all part of the same set. Yeah.
Love that.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield.
It's not for throwing. They don't attach. I will lose it. I'll drop it. So yeah.
Okay,
so
sure,
this will be like we're installing it, and I'm like, I guess probably just recounting like stories of like times when I wish I had them and things like that.
Or like where each of the pieces come from, that kind of thing. So then, Nathan, ask a question about past burdens, beliefs, anything. You can be as hard-hitting as you want.
So, I've been curious, Victor.
Yeah.
I know your brother showed up and rescued you or whatever from the ne'er-do-wells who were telling you what to do before, right?
Yeah. Sort of. Yeah. It's way more complicated than that, but yeah.
I was just wondering how he found you.
It's
especially since you said your daddy made quite a bit of kids.
Yeah, it's a lot of tech hacking stuff that I don't quite understand, but from what I can tell, he found like what do you call it when a computer has like a whole bunch of files all in one place?
A database.
A database of like different like people, different numbers. We didn't have names on our planet. We don't get names unless you like earn it. You have to literally make a name for yourself. Which is why my name sounds so, it's like Victor, like, you know, because I was like a war guy. And Nadi
that actually makes a lot of sense.
Right? Nadi picked that name. Nadi didn't get a name. So he found this data thing and like figured out who all like he was tied to, because they don't do family. Our planet doesn't do family. They just split people up, so there's no ties, no bonds, no connections.
I gathered that.
And he felt this just like, he described it as like fire in his heart that just like drives him to do the right thing even if it's hard. And he figured that was probably passed down like from our mom and dad, which I don't totally get, but so he sought out his like siblings, and turns out dad had like a bunch of kids. That like dudes can have a bunch of kids, especially like when you I didn't know that in the rest of space parents raised their kids. So like when you come from a place,
most of the time,
when you come from a place that doesn't even think about that, a dude can have like hundreds of kids, and he did, because he was like super big and strong like me. But our mom only had me and Nadi, and that's what he found out. That fire he's got is from Mom. She ran away. She got out. She got away from everything. And we don't really know what happened to Mom, but we know she left. We know that's where that came from. So when he found that out, that was just me. The other kids, Dad's other kids, they just follow orders like I did. But I guess there's enough Mom in me that when he came to find me, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, crying and so emotional and immediately like knew. It was super awkward. We both almost got arrested and died.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
But-
that sounds normal.
But yeah, so sorry, shit. I don't know why I'm yeah. So he found the data thing, and it was about Mom. It's about because where Mom. How's the shields going?
Oh, it's looking pretty cool. Look at this.
Oh, cool, so cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
So one of you gets to recover. Since Nathan doesn't have anything to recover, I'm assuming that it's going to be on Victor.
I would love. So the days got healed by the doctor, right? I paid her for that.
No, I said that it was temporary. It was a.
That's why I wanted.
Oh
to
yeah, that's right. You Yes, you paid for that. That's true. Yes.
So I'll get rid of my bumps and bruises so I can be fighting fit for taking on this space pirate.
And if Nathan, excuse me, if Nathan rolls recover, then he can actually recover both your carapace and your auto stim, because he'll be able to recover twice for as long as it has to deal with gear and not a person. Yeah. You are not a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Keep
Nathan.
going. I can hear.
Yes. Nathan, you're up.
All right. Let's see.
So, carried your burden for good or ill?
Oh, yeah.
You absolutely
I was
did.
about to roll.
Yeah. Carried your burden, good or ill? Yes, you
I did.
absolutely did. Suffered a loss, defeat, or setback? I don't think you did.
Well, I was tricked
You
into
were-
paying for dinner.
That did cost a cred. That cost a cred.
That's true. That's true. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. But however, the next time that happens, if it happens again, that's on you.
That's
'cause
fair.
you-
Fool me once.
Unless you get him back, then it's even. Then you get. Then you suffer a loss again.
This is a back and forth we do.
Claimed a victory for yourself and for the ship. Absolutely. You're. Yes, it was true. You're the one who.
I got a new crewmate.
Yes, and champion an ally and let them shine. I would say so. Yeah. So we clear off all four, and you're up to 6 XP as well,
Woo!
just like Nadi. Yeah. So technically a level up. A level up that I will add does not fully exist yet because the game is still in production. So, question mark. It's basically my plan for these is there are specialties like bonuses that are linked to what stats your careers are good at.
Wow.
So like if you're an influence, like all the influence careers have access to these influence related stats. Like for instance, bribery would be one where you can spend a cred to gain advantage on a positive influence roll, right? Like it's a move that you can do, that you can say, okay, I'm putting a cred up front to throw some lavish party in order to give myself a bonus to influence, stuff like that. So we can discuss that offline and toss around ideas for what you would like to see, because I'm totally open to designing on the fly. I mean, let's build this ship while we're flying it.
Here for it.
Can the chat give any ideas?
Absolutely, please.
Where should the chat? Yeah, join the Discord.
Yes, please.
Perfect
Join the
time for
Discord. Oh, actually, yeah, that's something we'll talk about. But Josh, maybe a designer's corner or something like that, where people can toss in their advice or their feedback or whatever.
Yeah, there is
Uncharted Worlds
actually an Uncharted Worlds 2 section
Oh, cool. Yes.
But
right.
I can draw more attention. No, there isn't actually. So it's just Uncharted Worlds. Yeah, I will absolutely add that in. No problem.
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally open. I mean, I make it for you guys. I make it so that like people will play it, right? So that's if there's some cool like, oh, I saw this in a space opera, and I really want to try to do that.
Emulate it.
Yeah, I want to emulate it, or I want some power that would let me do that kind of thing. Awesome. I haven't even started working on like the psionics yet, because obviously psionics is part of space opera. You can't not have psionics in space opera. But they are going to be advancements. They're going to be like ways that you can use your moves that don't require, that are mind powers rather than actually like with a gun. So anyway, so
with mind bullets.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. So, I go ahead and roll your cramped quarters, please.
All right. That's a 6.
Your Ethan's first failure of the game.
My first failure of the game.
So, now, this is choose a crewmate, work together to expand the personal conflict or disagreement. I will note, by the way, that no recovery has happened on the carapace or the auto stims, because that was his job, and he didn't get a recovery.
That's gonna suck.
Whoops.
Yeah, so...
Wait, I had advantage that I have not used yet.
Sean's so mad right now.
Are you kidding? No, it's fine.
Might as well use it now. So it was a 5 and a 1. Woo! 4! That makes it a 10.
Wait, I think you said 5 and a 1 with a 4 instead would be 9.
9.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, it's
so 9.
advantage is drop lowest.
Yeah.
All right.
For some reason, in my head went 4 and 5, 10.
Round it up.
All right. So because Nathan Ford comes from a productive background, he can repair 2 things instead of 1 when he does fix something, which is nice. It's nice. So go ahead and repair both the carapace. I'm imagining him basically in like the kind of dressmaker's pose, like, you know, like, but with like a soldering iron.
Now don't get it smashed this time.
I can't promise that. You know I can't promise that, right? You know I can't say that. I'm not supposed to lie.
You're right. That's I shouldn't put that on you.
Yeah. So am I assuming that you two are having that same shared moment, but with
Sure.
each other again?
Now
So,
you get to ask me something.
yeah, it's Victor. Get Nathan to fill you in on something.
So that I'm still like catching up with like everything that you do. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I was so lost, and maybe that's my fault for not like going up to the booth with you guys. Kind of
That's
now.
No, you're fine. It wasn't exactly planned instance.
I'm all for like. Listen, I know I don't always have the best ideas, which is why I like listen to you and to Nadi and to Gideon when you guys talk to me, because like I trust you guys to have better ideas than me. But like I could have been that guy if I had been like taught better, but they taught me to fight, not to think. So I guess that like what I'm saying is like, who taught you to think like that? Like that comes from somewhere.
It does.
Who is that guy? You were talking about like a guy. I think he left before I got there.
He did.
But, like, what's his whole deal?
My upbringing wasn't exactly it was kind of different, but it wasn't that different from yours. We had names, but we didn't really have any choice in what we were supposed to do, really. I came from a shipyard planet, and pretty much that's what everyone did that was born there. We ended up working in the shipyards. So that's where I got real good at fixing stuff.
Yeah, you're really good at that.
But then I met Harrison. And I don't know what it was he saw in me, but he saw something, and he got me out of there. And he's the one that showed me pretty much how to survive in the galaxy. If you ask him, he'd probably tell you, "Oh, he was just useful." But I don't know where I would know exactly where I would be. I would be exactly back home working in a shipyard if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, but there's learning how to. I know how to survive. I know how to like pick which plants are safe and what like veins you need to make sure you don't cut open accidentally.
He told me how to talk to people.
Yeah, because like, how does a guy figure out telling someone that his dad was right is going to make him win a fight? That blows my mind.
I didn't know for sure it was going to make him win the fight. I knew it would tell us something about him, though. See, Harrison told me that he was on sort of a journey of self-discovery where he wanted to prove that he was a great warrior like his grandpappy, whereas his daddy was more of a sitting around and tell people what to do kind of sort. But so I figured, since he and his dad were in disagreement about how he was living his life, yelling out that his dad was right would lit a lot of fire in his belly. And if it didn't, then, well, he would have been a lot easier to handle, and we could have just taken him right back to his daddy.
All right. Sounds like a cool guy. Hey,
yeah, he kind of is.
Side question: is when you call someone a gear monkey, is that an insult?
It depends on the context.
Nadi. From Prince Kid to Nadi.
From Prince Kid to Nadi, that's probably an insult.
Cool. I'm gonna beat the snot out of him. I'm just gonna...
I would ask Nadi first, because he might not have taken it as an insult.
He looked like he took it as an insult.
Then very well.
I those things as an insult.
I wouldn't have taken it as an insult. I'm very good at fixing things.
I just don't see. I don't think I know enough about the species of monkey. I know someone called me a what's the big monkey called again?
The gorilla. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I didn't see that as an insult, so I just had to check with him before he cut Coffee's hands.
See, that's the thing about insults. If you don't see it as an insult, then they kind of failed on their part in insulting you now, didn't they?
Yeah. I'm just like really good at protecting myself from insults.
That fella calling you a gorilla, gorillas are awesome.
Yeah.
They're big, strong, and protect their families.
Yeah.
What about that as an insult?
I didn't know any of that, but that makes it even cooler.
He was probably trying to imply that you were big, strong, but dumb. But, I mean...
I am.
Just, exactly.
I know what I am.
If you're comfortable with who you are and you have a complete understanding of yourself, then there's not really much anyone can say to tell you otherwise.
You're a good guy. You're a good guy.
I try.
Okay. I could just roleplay. I could roleplay Cramped Quarters for hours. It's my favorite part of the game.
Agreed.
All right. So yeah, I'm imagining this whole thing happens over multiple sessions of you basically fixing his armor while he's there, so it feels very small, like tight, intimate. Of just like the welding masks are down, the sparks are flying, and then between that you've got like that was good. That was.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
yeah,
I think at this point we should call it. It is a little bit like 10 past our normal stopping time.
Thank you, everyone, for sticking it out with us.
Y'all,
seriously.
Y'all rule. I'm looking.
If there is a third session, look. Whenever there's whenever there's like a flub in the like a stumble in us being able to play the main game, I am more than happy to keep running this game and bringing new people in and out of it. So I'm totally cool with that, of being your standby for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun, and it's great for me because I appreciate the opportunity to test these rules. Like, every time that we've played, these rules have been slightly different.
I don't see a reason we couldn't get Ella character in this side arc, so then it's just whoever's missing, we can play this.
Yes. Yeah.
Because then we can have like 2 persistent campaigns going, because it's more fun that way. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with this.
And
have we gotten a name for the ship, by the way?
No one's posted a name.
No, I think chat got a little scarce. People probably have been signing off one at a time. That's okay. We'll do it first thing next time. We'll do like a poll or whatever. And we'll see. For now, I would like to do a roll raid, if that's cool.
Yes, that's cool.
Guys, so next week, we do know this now, we are back to our actual like main scheduled, back to Castle Arundi.
The primary.
We will find the crew of the Freya within the castle and deal with the clone situation.
Elle's definitely back next week?
Yes, Elle said they were back for next week, for sure. So we are going to raid a channel called Emma Panda, who is doing the first session of a tabletop, so perfect time to get in on it. They're playing a game of Kids on Bikes, which is basically like Stranger Things vibes, like 80s teens kind of a thing. So I'm actually really excited about this. So we're going to go give them a little raid for anyone who's still around. And otherwise, guys, thanks for tuning in. Y'all rock. And
thank you, Jake, by the way, for these one shots. I mean, Jake isn't in the primary. He's our mod. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was really great.
I just proposed this being an ongoing thing. Jake, are you okay with that?
I'll figure it out.
If you ever have to miss, that's also, of course, acceptable.
That's
we'll figure it out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yes, thank you so much, Jake, for coming. And let's see if the raid button works this time.
Oh, yeah.
The raid button worked this time. We have raided. I'm going to disconnect from audio, and we are